What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you all. We are here with our annual weekly. Turn this music down for a little bit. Our weekly watch party, and after show after the watch party for The Last of Us. And tonight we're on episode 4. I can't believe it's been 4 weeks, y'all. Tonight's episode, please hold my hand. Are we gonna lose someone else tonight? Are we gonna lose someone else? The question is, are we gonna meet some new characters and then lose them by the episode? That seems to be, which again, I played the game. I'm very familiar with a lot of the tragedies and sadness. But man, hopefully we can meet some characters and they they can continue on in the weeks ahead. But neither here nor there, man. So excited to be back with you all on this Sunday evening. It is my birthday month, man. So this is a early birthday present for tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow's my birthday, so this is a little present for me to be able to hang out with you all and watch this fantastic series as we've been doing these last 4 weeks, and we'll continue to do so tonight. So again, from me to you, I appreciate you all joining in. Just a little friendly reminder, because I'm sometimes guilty of this. I watch a lot of my fellow YouTubers and get all in into the conversation. I sometimes forget, like the video. I forget to like the video. So do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up. And if you wouldn't mind, if you can share it, that would be great too. If you know someone that loves talking about this show and dissecting it and picking out other things that we might have missed and having our conversations as we've been doing, go ahead and hit that share button. And we're live, y'all. So it's a live chat. So I'm going to try my best to get to all the comments, especially when we get to our after show a little bit later tonight. When we bring in, special guests. I don't have anyone like scheduled to join tonight, but of course, as you all know, I'll send the invite out for those that want to join the conversation a little bit later when we get to that point. But again, y'all, this is episode 4. Very excited for it. Been loving this series so far. I don't know if there's any Pedro Pascal fans out there, which I'm pretty sure there are, that's been watching the series, but he was on Saturday Night Live the other night, man, and I didn't watch it in its entirety. I saw his opening monologue and I saw one of his skits, but then I saw the rest of them online. And I'm sure you all might have seen the HBO Mario Kart in the vein of Last of Us. It's hilarious. He was great last night, man. I thought he was fantastic. From the stuff I saw, the clips I saw, he was really good. So this man's just on a hot streak, man, between obviously this show and The Mandalorian coming out next month. He's just great, man. So very, very excited to see more of Joel and more of Pedro and Ellie's relationship, and to get introduced to some new characters, man. Because again, based on the trailer we saw and all that good stuff, I am excited for what we're getting tonight. And everyone's saying, as they have been, that got a chance to see it early, that tonight, if we thought last week was heartbreaking, which if you joined me last night, I got emotional. It was a really great emotional episode with a great performance, and just seeing that love was beautiful to see. But everyone that has seen the advanced copies or the advanced screeners for this has said, oh, y'all thought last week was sad. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. So yeah, emotions might be high tonight, which I'm excited to see. So shout out to everyone that's joining us again live. I pulled up some comments while the stream was getting loaded. So again, shout out to everybody. Jay in the building, Jade, my man Tony, Zia, how we doing? Mayanne, how you doing? My man Tim's in the building. My man Kevin, showing some love. HBO gang, BT. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, I am an Aquarius. Yeah. Aquarius. This is my birthday month too. Oh, see, man, this is I knew we got along, Johnny, because you know we Aquariuses, man. We the February kids out here, man. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Thank you all. It was, yes, that SNL skit was pretty damn funny, especially the Mario one. And then there's one where Pedro broke character, where they were on at the dinner table and the girl was cutting her steak, and it was good. And then there's another bit with him and Sarah Paulson. Social media wise, a lot of people refer to Pedro as Zaddy. He's everyone's Zaddy, and it's her, and then her Sarah Paulson. Everyone refers to her as mommy. So they had a little. It was funny, man. If you guys haven't seen the clips, definitely check it out. But yeah, I had a good time. Rims, it's official, y'all. We can get it started. The homie Rims is in the building. What's up, Rims? With the super dollar, the super chat of $20. Thank you, Rims. Happy Earth Strong, Elliot. You already know I wish nothing but joy, happiness, and success for you always. Enjoy your day tomorrow, and thanks for all you thanks for all that you do, friend. Well, thank you, Rem, so much for the birthday wishes, but also just being a part of this community and throwing in some love with the super chat. So thank you, Rims, and again, thank you to everyone wishing your boy some happy birthdays. But shout out to the homie Rims. Let's see here. We got a Facebook comment. Will it show the 4th episode on The Last of Us? Will it show? If you're referring to if I will show it, to answer the question, no, sir. Obviously, for copyright reasons, I can't show the episode. But hopefully you have HBO so you can watch it with us tonight. But appreciate the question. Getting nervous. Yeah, we T minus 4 minutes. 4 minutes is the countdown. It's Sam and Kenny. From what I've understood, I'm not sure because they weren't in the trailer, and I would imagine they would have introduced or a glimpse at them, but there was something I saw on Twitter from a critic that had seen the early screeners, and they had mentioned that tonight in episode 4 that they were going to show up. So I don't know. And again, I didn't get a chance to see them in advance. I don't know if they were. I wouldn't imagine the episodes were out of order. So I guess we'll find out, Kenny. And hopefully, if they do show up tonight, that they'll be, we'll see them in multiple episodes. And very, very interested to see those characters because they were very, very great in the game. So yeah. Mayan with the $4.99 super chat saying happy birthday with the birthday gift, birthday cake, some decorations and a balloon. Thank you, Mayan, for the super chat, for the happy birthdays. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. You all are awesome. Again, this is an early early birthday present for me with y'all being with me tonight. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. You all are the best. We got some Aquarius love in the building. I love it. Happy birthday month. Thank you, Silver. Obviously, birthday month, Black History Month, Kang Gang Month, Super Bowl month. I've totally forgot because I'm so out of touch with music nowadays. The Grammys are tonight. It's a great month, man. I always love the month of February. We're slept on, February slept on sometimes, but yeah. Birthday. Yeah, thank you. Let's see here. Reinhardt saying, this is my new Sunday night thing, watching Last of Us with you all. Man, that is dope. I love to hear that. Thank you first off, thank you for the super chat. And thank you for just joining every Sunday. This is my favorite thing to do every Sunday. And it has been for the last few years when we do our Sunday evening watch parties, the Last of Us. We did, what did we do last? Was House of the Dragon. And I plan to do more this year. So thank you all for making this part of this Sunday tradition, joining me every night. It's pretty awesome. Y'all are dope. I didn't watch the trailer. Yeah, I watched the trailer after we got done watching the episode. And again, I don't remember seeing them at all. We got some. I love the Aquarius love. I love it. Thank you, May. My man Michael, what's good, bro? What's good with you, man? I'm doing good. Like I said, getting ready for this episode. Got the birthday tomorrow. Living life, man. February, best month of the year. I can't argue with that. Mario, what's up, man? Happy birthday. Thank you. Last episode was so good. I don't know if they can top that. Guess we're gonna find out, ain't we, in about T-minus 1 minute. Hey Chad, how many episodes in the season again? 9. There are 9 episodes of Manual, and tonight is episode 4, and we got 5 more to go. Apparently it was supposed to be 10, but then it was reported, or not reported, but the directors and the writers came out and said that episode 1 was actually supposed to be a separate, 2 separate episodes, but they combined it into 1. So we're getting 9 episodes, as Rims and everyone is saying. Yeah, 9 episodes and 5 more to go. 5 more weeks of this great show. So with all that being said, it's 8 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all know the routine. I'm going to go ahead and reset my HBO Max. I'm going to get our timer up here in a second, get my headphones situated. And just a reminder, we do watch the trailer for whatever HBO is promoting, and as well as the previously on at the beginning of the episode. Of course, you can skip it and then just wait for, once we're all synced up. If not, go ahead and press play. But no spoilers if you're a couple minutes ahead of us. Man. Appreciate it, Michael. Appreciate it, bro. All right. So, and thank you, Mary, for the happy birthday. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Yep. Here we go. 4 to 5 minutes. Okay. Shortest episode of the season. All right, y'all. I'm clicking on it. Let me get the timer here, and we will get this show on the road. All right, y'all. Go ahead. Sync up the headphones. There we go. Turn it up. There we go. All right, y'all. So on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, pressing play now. Hold on, it was like slightly delayed. There we go. All right. Get this out of the way. All right, y'all. So as you can see on the screen now, for those that are tuning in now or watching the replay, there's our little timer here. And right now I'm watching the previously on. I can skip it, but I'm just going to let it play out. And we'll watch the intro. I wonder if we're going to get a cold open. We didn't get one last week for the first time all season, or if we're just going to jump right into the story. So we're going to figure out that in a couple of seconds here. And also, too, in the past week, been seeing a lot of behind the scenes with the two actors, Murray and Nick Offerman, talking about how they got the role and all the different stuff. It's a really great episode, man. Again, I know a lot of people were saying that it was like the best episode ever on TV. I'm not to those levels, but I could definitely acknowledge that it was one of the better episodes of TV I've seen maybe in the last year or two. But of all time, that's a lot of TV. Wired, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. We talk about Walking Dead with this show a lot. So again, this is a great episode last week, but I don't know if it's like the greatest episode of TV I've ever seen. But shout out to those that thought so. I'm glad that they love it. All right. Time to go. 45-minute episode. That's interesting. Very, very the shortest episode of the season, obviously. So cold open. All right. I guess those cold opens were exclusive to episodes 1 and 2. Let me know in the chat, y'all, if y'all missed those cold opens, because I do. I love those cold opens, man. They were pretty haunting and scary and set the mood for the episode, right? And again, thank you all to all 60 people that's joined us live. Just hit the thumbs up, share, comment, and let's have some fun tonight as we watch, hopefully, this great episode of The Last of Us. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't skip this right now. Like I said, this is where I'm at in episode 2 minutes and 35 seconds in. Right now, they're playing the intro, which is beautiful, of course. And then episode will be getting after that. Let's see here. Waltings. I don't watch the show, but wanted to pop on the show and show some love and appreciation. Oh, thank you so much for the $5.99 super chat coming in. Even though you don't watch the show, showing some love. That's awesome. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments, what is it on the channel that you do love that we covered? I would love to know that, but I appreciate the love and the support there. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Oh, hold on. Silver Scale. Happy birthday month. Thank you, Silver. Shout out to my servant fans out there. All right. It has begun. But again, thank you for the super chat, Silver, Waltine, Rims earlier, Ryan Hart. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. All right, let's get it. So we all know right now Ellie found this gun in Bill's drawer last week, and Joel told her to not grab a weapon. I have a feeling that it might be a bad thing, but it also might be a good thing. So I guess we'll find out as she's playing with the gun in the mirror as she's holding it with a little smirk on her face. And the fact that they're spending so much time on her playing with the gun, to me, means it's going to be big into this episode or future episodes, them focusing so much on this. Again, I could see it saving them at a point or being something that can get her in trouble or maybe get someone killed. So we'll find out. Yes, hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I miss those cold opens. I miss them. Not really, but it can get there. Siphon off some gas. Have any of y'all had to ever siphon off gas before like that? I haven't. That's some poetry. Oh, book. What is that from? Uh, kid humor. Kids, right? Even though he doesn't laugh at her jokes or takes her humor, I think he's slowly but surely she's growing on him, right? And not saying that it's reminding her of Sarah, but it is probably good to see someone of her age and having something to fight for, right? Hey, what's up, Nisi? Shout out to Nisi. Yeah, the dad jokes. She's tearing down those walls, right? She's slowly but surely tearing down those Joel walls. Mm. Yo, this is straight out of the video game that she's doing right now. She got that from Bill's house, stuck together. Yeah, she's gonna just get. That is literally took it from the video game. That's awesome. But unfortunately, from the video game, Ellie and Bill interact with each other. But we all know how that played out last week. Well, that's funny. It's like an old. Shout out to the visual effects team making this dystopian look. Overgrown trees, abandoned ships. Again, the production never fails to disappoint. No, there's some tanks. Oh damn! Look at that train on the rails that's broken. Kenny, I know you asked earlier if we're going to be getting the brothers in this episode. Would it be in 45 minutes, man? Answer your question. I don't know if we will. And if we are, they might be introduced at the end. But this is going to be a quick one. Well, not 45 minutes is, fairly relatively common in 1 hour TV shows. But I think we're going to get straight to it, man, after they kind of get where they need to go in this episode. Yeah, the effects are dope. Yeah, soundtrack on point. Yeah, it just creates the whole vibe. Yeah, did y'all catch that? The Bill reference from the video game? Oh, here we go. Is that ravioli? What is that? Ravioli? Oh, I haven't had ravioli in a minute. Goddamn. To answer your question, I watched your videos on Servant and White Lotus, Only Murders in the Building, Loki, Severance, Ted Lasso, Devs. That's what's up. I appreciate you. Some great shows you mentioned, by the way. Mm-hmm. There's people more things out there more worse than clickers. $20 ravioli. Any ravioli fans out there? After school. Yeah, what up, Kay? How we doing? K Bly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You not a 20-year-old can. The can older than Ellie. Hey, but if you ain't ate in a few hours, few days, that can tasting like top shelf, fresh, delicious ravioli. Oh my gosh, here we go with the puns. Let's see. Why did this guy called win an award? I don't know. Tell me. He's growing on her, y'all. Look at him. He's smiling. Joel is smiling. Yo, she's growing on him, y'all, like a little fungus. She's growing on him. Love to see it. And again, as I referenced to last week, if episodes 1 and 3 was chapter 1 or the first half of the film, we're now getting to the second half. We're now seeing the development of the relationship. Someone's looking for her, I would imagine. Well, I guess we talked about that last week on the after show. Does anyone know about, besides Marlene, no one knows about Ellie, her being a cure, right? So I guess there wouldn't be anyone looking, but Joel seems to think differently. Yeah, bro, I don't know how you'd be able to sleep out in the open like that. I know he said there's no clickers to really worry about, but knowing the society has crumbled and there's people that, for those that play the game, do some pretty crazy things, you would not catch me sleeping and taking watch. So I figured it's hard to sleep. Hey, cut it out, buddy. Stop there. No, coffee's disgusting. Coffee is literally disgusting. I've never been a fan. Some of y'all might say, "Oh, you just haven't had the right batch or whatever." I'm just not a fan of coffee at all. Look at all the little comedy beats this week. Pedro carrying over his SNL in this episode. Obviously, it was a shot way before that, but Tommy boy. Wow. I'll get to why I said wow here in a second after he gets done with this monologue. Brick brother, gotta say little brother. Reason I said wow is because again I'm just going back to 2 weeks ago. You know when Ellie was. Hold on. Hmm. You gotta call her cargo. Now I was gonna say wow because again it's just showing more of the development. Because 2 weeks ago he didn't give her a time of day to figure out like you keep your story, I keep mine. But again she's slowly but surely prying away at pulling at those layers of the onion called Joel back. So again it's just more of the showing that development between us two and the slightly more trusting elements that he's given Ellie, even though he just called her cargo, which is she's obviously more than that. But no, I appreciate that scene there. So what is that? 17, 18 minutes in. I'm I'm thinking that it's about to hit the fan, y'all. I'm thinking it's about to hit the fan. They're just setting things up for hopefully some ish to go down. I'm trying to think at home. You think we're about to get into some action beats, some more high entertainment. Man, shout out to the production again. I don't want to sound repetitive, but I just think of like we only see these type of shots for 3, 4, 5 minutes, right? And it took them probably 2 weeks to prep all this for a couple minute shots. I don't know, man. I just appreciate what these production teams build to set the environment, even if it's not going to be on screen for the duration of the episode. So kind of in my neck of the well, I'm in Missouri, but not too far away from where I'm at. What you gonna do? Yeah. All right. Let's see if this detour was a good idea. Say Underworld and Matchstick was playing in the theater. Oh, that's fresh. Oh boy, who we gonna be coming across here? Uh-oh. Nope. Hell no. Ooh. Damn it. Jesus. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. I love the score, by the way. Intensifying the scene like a mofo. It's like building. Y'all think Ellie gonna use that gun? Got him. Got him. What you mean? You came shooting at me, bruh. Me max, I'm defending myself. I hope Ellie. Come on, use that gun, Ellie. She gonna use the gun, bro. If she even remembers she has it. Get the gun, Ellie. She don't know how to shoot it. She don't know how to. No, can't worry about it. Joel took him out. Oh damn! Come on, El. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yep, get that gun. I knew it was gonna end up working. Oh no, they're gonna stab him. No, the gun. The gun. I guess you could have stabbed him, save bullets. The gun. I think we all knew at home that gun was gonna come into play some way, somehow. She gonna kill him? She gonna kill him, y'all? It's okay. Oh damn! Shot him in the spine. No. Joe gonna take him out. Too late for that, Brian. So you gonna give him a mercy kills to take him out of his misery? Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Don't mean to be that guy, but you should have thought about that before you came busting in with your shotty. She crying? Damn. So, question at home: do y'all think Ellie feels bad for shooting that guy, or the situation at hand? It's just a lot of nerves going. What do y'all think was the reason behind those tears? He's gonna ask about the gun, right? Or no? That was intense, y'all. No empathy for Brian. Nah, I mean, Rims. That's what happens when you come in on some hostility. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, Brian. R.I.P. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, yeah, just saying it, saying whatever he could to live. People looking for him. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, that's not her first kill. Yeah, she did kill a clicker. That's right. But as far as like obviously, a human being, someone with full consciousness is much different kill than someone that's obviously a quote unquote zombie. Mm. Hey Kenny, by the way, we got a Henry reference. Oh wow. What's her name? Guy Melanie Kaczynski or something like that. Here we go. So we have some people that escape this zone that she's occupying. I would assume she's a leader-ish. What's her name? Caitlin? Let's see what type of person she is. She ruthless like that? Killed the guy that gave birth to her? Yeah, I'm a big fan of this actress. She's great in everything I've seen her in. But I don't ever think I've seen her in a I don't want to say villain because we don't know who she is really, but oh boy. What did Joel do? He stab him? Oh boy. No. So yeah, she seems to be very important. I would assume she's the leader of this group of people who Caitlin. I'm pretty sure they said her name is Caitlin. I'm pretty sure she's a new character made for this show because I don't remember no Caitlin in no video game. Correct me if I'm wrong for those in the chat. Damn. I love her as an actress. I didn't really feel that intensity. I don't know. Was that just me? Because she's a great actress. Don't get me wrong, but that speech felt a little dry, very stale, not threatening or menacing. But it might speak to her as a character. Like she's not really bad. She's but. All right, so Henry. Yeah, how did y'all feel about Melanie's intimidating scene? Did you buy into it? She's from Yellow Jack. Yeah, I know I haven't watched Yellow Jack, but I heard she's great in it, and I've seen her in others. She's Fargo and a bunch of other stuff. She's great, but I didn't really buy her in that scene. She seems intimidated. Was that from the game? That character is not from the game, but like this group of, I don't know, we would call them hunters for Henry. That is an element of the game, but not her. That character is new to me. Yeah, okay, that is new stuff. Yeah, she's like a female John Lithgow. Oh, here we go. It's the gun conversation. But I'm almost thinking she might have enjoyed it, after her experimenting with the clicker last week, and when Joel killed the guy in episode 1, she kind of like the producer said it like ignited something inside of her. I would have thought she would have not enjoyed that, but I thought she was like kind of more. I don't want to say game, but it wouldn't have affected her in this. But again, she's a kid, man. You could think you're. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is what we need. Oh yeah. There you go. Yes, hit that thumbs up, y'all. Appreciate it, Junior. Hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And appreciate all y'all joining me tonight. Okay, so yeah, some of y'all wasn't buying it. Yeah, it wasn't convincing. And again, I don't know if that's just a matter of just showing a little bit of her character. Like that isn't who she is, so it kind of comes off unnatural. But if they are trying to build her as like this intimidating, you know, person that cares for her people and looking for Henry and kind of on edge, then it wasn't that good. But we'll see. Playing a holder from the main person. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So Henry and a little man, his little brother, went up here. This is about to end in a little bit. And we got 7 minutes, and we know there's like 5 minutes of an after credit. Interesting. Again, it's been a while since I played the game, so I don't know what that is alluding to, whatever that was on the ground. I know whatever it is, it ain't good. So they're diving into Sam and Henry come from instead of just leaving us to assume that Henry and Sam came from just game. Yeah. Who's on the gram? Oh damn, who's Henry? He's a character we're gonna with only 6 minutes left. We won't get much of him this week, but I'm sure next week we'll get him. But without giving too much away, it's a character. Him and his brother are from the game trying to escape. Like I think they were hunters in a game. Really good characters that I'm really excited to meet in the live action form. So really important to Elle and Joel's development for sure. Because you're gonna have, I think Henry was like in his 20s and his Sam was like a kid. So it kind of has that, mirrors their relationship, but obviously their blood. But that's what I bet we're gonna probably end with them finding Henry and Sam, and we're gonna end with that probably if I were to bet on it. A giant mushroom. Burn the building down. Yeah, crazy. I think that answers your question, Ellie. And that's the cool, well, not cool, but that's the layers that you appreciate from Joel in the game. He's not all good. He's not all bad, obviously, but he had, as he said, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Now it's what you do after you make those moments that defines you. You continue to do it. Do you just do it when it means necessary? So 56? 56. I can't remember if they ever. I mean, I guess Joel was in his 50s, but it's that glass so you can hear someone walking in. Setting the booby traps. Someone comes in. Yeah. Duh. Damn, that sucks that all that stuff they got from Bill is this gone now, right? You would assume that those people got their supplies. God damn it. Tell her a joke. Oh, maybe not. Look at Joel asking her questions about her past. Yeah. Very observant. What? I'm sorry. Is he smiling again? Yeah, he's smiling again. That was a legit good one. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually kind of funny. I'm sorry. Poop jokes make me laugh. I'm sorry. I'm kind of immature when it comes to poop jokes. I'm gonna have to add that one to the repertoire. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, that the end? I hope not. Okay, here we go. Yeah, whoever said in the comments, I think we're gonna end on a cliffhanger for sure. Something that's gonna like make a She's gonna be like, I hear something. Yep, here we go. Uh-oh. Yep, there he is. And Sam, yep. Hell yeah. There we go, y'all. Okay, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Henry and Sam. Okay, y'all. As you know, we will be going live tonight, having our. I don't know if there will be any guests join us, so it might not be the 2-3 hour discussions we've been having the last 3 weeks. But again, if anyone wants to join the live after show, just hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, and I can send you all a link to share your thoughts. So that's open to anyone with the camera, a mic, good lighting, and obviously something to say regarding the show. So that'll be happening. We take a little 5-minute break, and I'm gonna watch a little after show here. Initial thoughts. As you all know, go ahead and put your scores in the chat now. What would you rate this? For me, obviously I rewatch these episodes after we do our watch party, but I'm at a 7 out of 10. We'll get into my reasons why on my score a little bit later on the after show, but I'm at a 7 out of 10. And again, I'll elaborate on that, but share your score as I watch the trailer here, see what we got for next week's episode. So we will be spending more time in Kansas City. Next week's looks action packed. Oh, okay. Yeah, next week looks like super action heavy. And again, I just like to watch these little after shows to kind of get the perspective on the episodes from the directors and actors. So if you guys continue to watch along, I'm just watching a little after inside the episode, and then we'll take a break for a quick 5 and get ready on tonight's after show. So again, if you guys want to join me on tonight's after show, send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok, and I'll share the link with you if you want to join the discussion or have a discussion about the episode. So for those that might have clicked off the episode, the writer is just talking about how this episode shows them as a team or starting to develop as a team, which definitely you can see those beats throughout this episode. Both of them kind of more so Joel. Gosh, Bella Ramsey, who's talking right now, seeing her as Ellie for an hour and then her hitting that British accent throws me off sometimes. Yeah. Right now, the creators just talking about how they deviated from the game. How they in the game they went to Pittsburgh, in the show they went to Kansas City. Oh, so we got the director of episode 4 and 5. It's kind of a part 1, part 2. Yeah, to me, my general, again, I gave it a 7 out of 10, and we'll talk about it. But just the way I feel about it so far is more calm before the storm type of episode. But I thought last week was more of a calm before the storm. So we get back-to-back episodes of that. Okay, this is what I want to know of like Ellie's mindset of shooting that man. Just curious on what the thought of the character was. Right. Let's see. We got some 7. Yeah, you feel like 7. We got an 8. Missed the cold opens. Yeah, me too. Yeah. We got an 8. We got a 7. We got another 7. Yeah, a lot of us. Yeah, got my man Jay with an 8. 7.5. Solid 7. Oops, sorry. We got an 8. 8.5. They're talking about the group that we meet in this episode, having a little bit more backstory and have a little bit more humanity to them. Very interesting. Okay, Kathleen, ruthless leader. I didn't get that ruthless, and they managed to take down a whole court. I didn't buy it, y'all. Oh wow, I didn't know that. The actor that plays, I think they said his name is Perry. He played Tommy in the game. That's dope. Okay, I love that. This is okay. This is the context I needed. I'm very excited to talk about it with you all. So, for those that aren't watching the inside the episode, one of my complaints that we'll elaborate on tonight is this Kathleen character. They're saying that she's a ruthless leader. I didn't get that ruthlessness. She seemed reluctant to kill the doctor. So that's gonna be interesting to explore. All right, y'all. So that's the end of the watch party, the end of the inside the episode. Again, continue to leave your scores in the chat, and we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, restroom break, reload on the water, hydrate. I'm going to reset up my setup here. And again, if you all want to join me to kind of give your thoughts on the episode, the stream is open to do so. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram and Twitter. Say, hey, E, I would love to join you tonight. And I'll share the link with you. So again, thank you all for joining tonight's watch party. We're going to have our after show in about 5 minutes. So with that being said, let me get all this stuff off the screen here. Take the timer away. Again, before y'all take your breaks, bathroom breaks, restroom breaks, water breaks, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the other side for tonight's after show for this episode of Last of Us. All right, see you guys in 5 minutes. discussion. Again, if you all are just tuning in, or if you're coming over from the after show, I appreciate every single one of you all. If you are tuning in, or if you're coming from the after show of the watch party, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. It means a lot. I appreciate the support, as well as hit the share button if you guys want to have some people get into the conversation. I always welcome that. And if you do the same on the replay, I would appreciate it, y'all. So again, coming over from the after show, coming over from the watch party into this after show, again, I gave the show, the episode I should say, a 7 out of 10. And again, for those that are just tuning in, and for those that are watching the replay, put your score in the comment section, live chat on the replay. Again, to me, 7 out of 10. Why did I give it that score? Which, by the way, is the lowest I've given an episode out of the 4 so far. Reasons being, this episode had some things that I really appreciate from a narrative perspective, from a character perspective, which is seeing, and again, being that I am someone that has played the game, which you all can see behind me there, knowing that is the fundamental essence of the game, is that relationship and the importance of that relationship, and particularly Joel opening himself up, outside of caring for someone that isn't named Tess, that isn't named Sarah, that isn't named Tommy, right? How does someone with that tragic past, with that, darkness to them, how do they find a way to continue on with so much loss, with so much damage to the people that they have come to love? How does someone open their heart up again? So this episode really displayed that for me. Seeing that evolution of Joel, and Ellie getting to Joel in a positive way. We got a couple laughs from Joel in this episode, which was a sight to see, right? Because all this season, every joke she throws at him, every time she tries to bring a light to the situation, if she can't find some, Joel, it's been responded to from just coldness from Joel. So I really do appreciate that she was able to get to those levels of him feeling comfortable to smile in front of her. Because again, just think about laughing and smiling. That's a vulnerable state for someone, to open yourself up in that manner, where you kind of release that hardness to you, that grittiness to you. So seeing him smiling is something that you don't give to everyone. It's showing you that other side. So I appreciated that development from Joel, of him allowing himself to show that happiness to her. So I appreciated that, and also I'm appreciating the development of Ellie. We'll talk about the gun tonight, but seeing that and her and how that affected her, or maybe it didn't. We'll talk about that. And, so those are the things that really stood out to me. And also, always love seeing the world building, seeing the production of the show. All that stuff is fantastic. Score, all that. My criticisms, which we'll kind of get into, really boil down to, again, I felt like this was another calm before the storm. Last week, beautiful episode, highlighted all the beauties of it. And then I was like, okay, we did all that setup, that beautiful love story. Now we're going to probably get more into we got into the hunters, who we'll talk about, but I was hoping for a little bit more of something new and not more of the same, which felt to me, again, like another calm before the storm, which, again, for someone that played the game isn't all action, but of course, if you're playing a game, you can allow things to be a little bit more faster paced and whatnot, but the pacing just wasn't as engaging for me as it had in the previous 3 episodes. Even in the slower moments from the previous episodes, still just so much more richness going on. And the performances across the board have been A+++. I don't know if it's a performance thing or if I'm just not used to this character yet, but I believe her name was Kathleen, if I'm not mistaken, played by Melanie Litsky. If I'm not pronouncing her name, I apologize. She's a fantastic actress. Loved her and everything I've seen her in. I haven't watched Yellowstone, is that called? No, Yellow Jacket, which is on Showtime, but I've heard great things about it. I know she's one of the lead actresses in that show, but I've seen her in other things, and she's really great. But watching the after show, the inside the episode, they said that her character is known as a ruthless leader. Now, and we'll get to it when we break down the episode, but I didn't get any of that ruthlessness. Now, of course, she shot the doctor, kind of cold-blooded, but she seemed reluctant to do that, in my opinion, which we'll get into later. But I don't know, that whole group of people, I didn't really get those vibes of like ruthless leader. I didn't really get that. And again, we only spent 10 minutes with them, so to be fair, fair. We're going to obviously hopefully understand how they were able to take down that particular military group, how they were able to come to be. Is she really a ruthless character in that regards? But I didn't buy it in tonight's episode. But again, we'll elaborate on that a little bit further when we get to that point in the breakdown. But again, like I said, my initial thoughts on this episode, 7 out of 10. And like I said, just gave me my reasons why. But we'll get into it a little bit further in tonight's breakdown. So that is my initial thoughts, but let me get some of you all's comments. Again, just going back to when we were doing the watch party. Let's see. I know a lot of people were giving this a 7, and a lot of, so it's got some 8s, 8.5, some 8s, some 7s. We got a 7.5. My man Jay, which I saw your message, Jay. I'm going to send you the link here in a little bit. And again, for anyone that wants to join tonight's discussion, whether it's for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and maybe 35 minutes, an hour. I don't think this will be as long as the other episodes, after show, just because it was a shorter episode. But if you would like to join and share your opinion, positive, negative, somewhere in the middle, I always like to invite people onto the channel, get new perspectives on the channel. So all you have to do is, if you are following me on Instagram or Twitter, if not, do yourself a favor, check your boy out on those other social media platforms. But hit me up in the DM, say, hey, I would love to join and share my opinion on tonight's episode. Only thing I require is, microphone so we can clearly hear you, camera so we can see you, and then, if you got a light to kind of give you some lighting going on, that's the only requirements. And then also to having something to say. So those are only things. And like I said, Jay, I saw your message, so I'm gonna see the link here in a little bit. And I saw someone else, I think it was Justin. So again, if anyone wants to join, those are the ways that you can join. Hit me up on the DM. But we got 7. Shout out to everyone again joining us live and sharing your score. Mayanne gave it an 8. My man Tim gave it a 7 as well. As like the community. Yeah, I like the. If y'all was at the watch party, I had some good laughs, especially the what is the joke? What is, diarrhea is hereditary. Why? Because it runs in your genes. I'm a sucker for poop jokes, man. So filler episode. I respect that. I just think sometimes people, and I say that you are one of these people, when sometimes I see the word filler, I really think sometimes people throw, and I'm again not saying that you were doing this, but sometimes I feel like some throw that word out there and not really fully understand the word filler. This obviously moves the story ahead. So in my opinion, and no disrespect there, but I just feel like that it wasn't a filler episode because it did move the story along. It might not have been as fast paced or get us to where we wanted it to be, but it still pushes the story forward. So it's it's not a Elseworld bottle episode. It still is in the continuity of the previous episode. So that's how I feel about filler. I don't feel like it was that. I would rate it higher. And I can stream the next episode right now. That is a great point, Silver, because as I was watching the inside the episode, the director, Jeremy, his last name is slipping me, he's going to be directing episode 4 and 5. And to your point, I think next episode and this episode next week going to play better as like a two-parter of a sense, like more of a cohesiveness, because it did kind of feel a little short. So yeah, I definitely agree with you that it'll probably play better when we see next week's endpoint to that director's story. Yeah, like I said, next week, and again, it feels like this was a calm before the storm, as was last week, in my opinion. So it looks like next week we're going to really kind of push the narrative forward with a little bit more of consequences, actions, more fast-paced things going on. So we got an 8. My man Kenny gave it a 9, which I think that's the highest score I've seen so far. So shout out to Kenny, 11th episode. Let's see here. Let's see. Nisa gave it an 8. Rims with an 8. He has timing. Yeah, I love that. The gentleman that plays the army guy, that was the friend or the second in command to Kathleen. I think it was Kathleen. His name was Perry. And the gentleman, as we were doing after show, he played Tommy in the game. So we got that with Marlene's character, the actress that played Marlene in the game, is that voiced the character, plays the character. Now we got another character that was in the game and is playing a new character. From my understanding, this Caitlyn leader is new, original to the series, and Perry's new, original to the series. So I love to see that they bring those characters back. Got some other 8s. The music is still on. Turn the music off. Is the music? I thought I turned the music off. Is it not on? Oh, my bad. Why am I not hearing it? Can I hear myself? My bad. Did I just talk this whole time? The music is really loud. It's hard to hear you. Jesus, can y'all hear me better now? We can't hear you. Oh my gosh. Why did I not hear this in my headset? That's the whole point of the headphones. Could y'all hear me okay now? Goodness gracious, I'm sorry. I was reading your previous comments. I said like, oh, how long I've been talking for like 10 minutes. Y'all can hear me better now. My apologies. I don't know why I didn't hear that sound. I'm gonna play the sound right quick because I don't know why I didn't hear it. But it wasn't playing in my ears before. That's so weird. Anyway, my apologies. So unprofessional of me. I am so sorry, guys. I pretty much remember everything I said, so I'll repeat what I said. We'll get into my reasons of a 7 out of 10 a little bit later. Oh my goodness. My freaking apologies, guys. Y'all can hear me now. My bad. What an idiot. What a freaking idiot, man. My bad, y'all. Again, as I send the code out to Kenny or to my man Jay, who's going to join us tonight, and I think Justin said he wants to join us. As I'm doing that, just a long story short, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I felt like it was a little bit of the same of what we got last week, the calm before the storm type of feel. And I also felt as though the characters that we met at the back half of the episode, to me, felt underwhelming so far. Obviously, knowing that we're going to get more of them, but the actress that plays Kathleen, I believe her name is Melanie Kandinsky, if I'm not mistaken. I love her as an actress, but I didn't buy her. They said at the end of the episode, they said that she's the after show thing. They said that she's like a ruthless leader. I didn't get that ruthlessness. I know she killed the doctor in tonight's episode, but I didn't really feel that ruthlessness of the character. So those are some of my qualms with it, but I did like, again, just kind of repeat what I said when the music was playing loud. I do like the elements of Joel and Ellie continuing their relationship. Joel allowing Ellie to get closer to him. We get a smile from Joel in this episode, which to me is very key because, again, if you're allowing someone to see that more softer, nicer, welcoming side to you, that's another layer of you opening your heart up and trusting someone more. So I do appreciate that element that we got tonight between those two. But again, my main criticism lie with this new group. I didn't really feel it, man. They felt a little, and again, we only spent 10 minutes with them. But again, if they're pitching them as a ruthless leader group that took out the military, I didn't buy that quite yet. But hopefully next week we'll get a little bit of a better understanding of that more cold, calculus, ruthless side of those characters. So, man, I really feel bad that I had that music on, man. It's going to haunt me tonight as I'm sleeping. Like, you damn idiot. Again, my apologies for those that couldn't hear me earlier. For whatever reason, the music didn't play in my ears. So, but we will move on. We will move on. So, Jay, I'm going to be sending you the link. Again, if anyone wants to join, just hit me up in the DMs on Instagram or Twitter, and I can share the link with you all if you have some opinions on tonight's episode. Only requirements that I ask is if you have a mic, if you have a camera, if you have a lighting, and if you have something to say. Those are the only requirements to join the stream. So I just sent the link to Justin, who will be joining us, as well as my man Jay. Justin joined us last week, and Jay joined us on episode 1, so they will be hopefully joining us here in a little bit. Again, the mic was out, or not. The mic wasn't out. It was just, I guess, the music was over drowning what I was saying. So your boy apologizes. My bad. All right. Let me see here. So yeah, again, guys, I thought tonight's episode had a lot of great character stuff. I just wasn't the biggest fan of our first introduction to a larger group of people that's supposed to be kind of ruthless and cold and calculus, took out the army. I didn't get those vibes from that first impression. But again, hopefully next week we will get more of those characters and really kind of get a better understanding of them. But speaking of understandings, let's talk about this scene here as my guest. Like I said, Jay, I sent you the link, and Justin, whenever you guys are ready, we'll see you when you join. And if anyone else wants to join, just let me know. But we opened this episode with Ellie, y'all, and I said it last week. When she gets the gun, it's going to work one of two ways. She's going to either A, use the gun to Joel and her advantage, which we'll get to that point, or B, she's going to end up getting someone killed. Luckily, it worked out for the better with them. But again, seeing young Ellie, which I would imagine this is her first time, excuse me, with a gun, as she's so like infatuated with looking at the bullets and holding the gun up in the mirror and kind of, being a kid, right? That has a very powerful weapon that can save lives and also take them away. So seeing her in the mirror, kind of playing with the gun, was very interesting because again, in my head, I'm like, again, this can only work one or two ways. It's going to work to their advantage, or it's going to end up, like I said, getting someone killed. And again, it worked kind of both ways. It worked to their advantage, and it did end up getting someone killed, but in their benefit. So let me know what you all thought about that opening scene and Ellie with her and this gun. I mean, she's just smelling it, kissing it. She's in love with it, man. She's in love with the violence, which again, for those that play the game, know that Ellie, as she talks about in this episode, this isn't the first time that she has hurt someone, right? And we've seen hints of that kind of, I don't want to say darkness, but with a more kind of survivalist style of her, right? So I really enjoyed, again, just seeing her, just the layers of the wonderful character of the name Ellie. But as we kind of fast forward through the rest of this kind of first half, again, positive opinion, positive thoughts on this episode. This stuff that we're seeing with Ellie and Joel as he's talking about siphoning off gas, as she's reading him the puns, which again, man, I'm a sucker for corny jokes sometimes, especially poop jokes, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But again, let me know how you all felt about this development. Are you enjoying Ellie and Joel on this journey to Wyoming? We see, again, it's paying attention to the little nuances. It's knowing Joel was so hard and so cold, gave her the cold shoulder every time she brought up, hey, what's tell me about this. He's like, nope, we don't need to know anything about each other. But slowly she is able to get more information. Slowly she's able to understand who's this guy that's on this journey with me more. So again, I appreciate those small, quieter moments and her just, throwing in a little joke, because they say the way to people's heart is through food, but also through laughter and joy. So I love her, the way that she's going about, peeling the onion back with Joel. And also shout out to my video game fans out there. This little moment here where Ellie has the magazines that she found at Bill's house is literally taken from the video game. I love that kind of moment there. Obviously, as we talked about last week, we didn't get the not Joel, but Ellie and Bill having their interaction, because in the video game, they didn't like each other. And they were very upfront about that. So we didn't get that, but obviously we got something different, which we talked about last week, and I really enjoyed last week's episode. But I do appreciate that homage a little, and we've gotten obviously several of those throughout the 4 episodes. But that to me was pretty cool to kind of see that moment. And again, someone mentioned, I think it was I can't help me in the comments if you're still here. Someone had mentioned that they really enjoyed I think it was Tim. Tim mentioned he liked the comedic beats in this episode, and I totally agree with him. And when it comes to these, apocalyptic, world-ending, serious, all the time type of shows or movies, it's sometimes hard to place comedy in those more serious moments, because it can be jarring, because we're so used to the dystopianness, the coldness, the more non-funny moments. So when they add in those levels of levity, it's been working pretty well to me. Again, comedy is very subjective. Some people might be tonally taking them out of the scene, but I've really enjoyed the hints of comedy that they've kind of slowly and surely have put in the show. And it hasn't been overwhelming for me. So I've liked the comedy beats, but I think I heard the beat. We got our first guest in the back room. Again, this gentleman joined us on the first episode and coming back for the 4th. So I'm excited to see how he's liked the previous 3 episodes, getting us to this point, and also just see how he's doing. I'm talking about my man Jay. What's going on, man?
Oh, good evening. Here, you know what? Hold on a second. I can't see, so give me a minute, please.
Take your time. Take your time, guys. We're gonna get Jay back in the building. He's gonna get his glasses, because again, I'm one of those. If I don't got these on, I don't know what I'm seeing in front of me, right? But no, I'm excited to get Jay on again. He joined us a couple weeks ago, and I'm excited to get his thoughts. Oh, there he is. There he is.
All right, sorry about that.
How many fingers am I holding up there? We got a couple fingers. How are we doing tonight, man?
I'm doing excellent. How about you? I know you're got a big day tomorrow for your birthday. So happy birthday there.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's another birthday, man. Can't be more thankful for another year to celebrate. So yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. So Jay, man, again, I apologize. I had my audio. I want to watch the replay. Did you all hear anything I said, or you didn't hear a word?
I got most of what you're talking about.
Okay.
You're talking about, I mean, because you did you did cover back what you were talking about.
Yeah.
You don't think Kathleen is
Menacing and cold
menacing
and ruthless.
yet, but I think we're going to get that in the episode in part 2, I guess you could say.
Right.
And you also said that we're not quite sure what the meaning of the title is of
it was Please Hold My Hand. Yeah.
Please Hold My Hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to find out what that means. We got a second watch or maybe a third watch. We'll probably find out what it means. But here's where I'm getting vibes on about Kathleen, because of course they're diverting from the game itself.
Yeah, these are her and the Perry guy, her second-hand man. They're original characters to the series. Yeah.
I think they're replacing without spoilers. I'm sorry if I do this, but I think they're replacing her with one of the main characters in the game.
Interesting.
I don't want to say. I mean, for the people that play the game, I think you hopefully know what I'm talking about. And they're bringing that character in much earlier than they do in the game.
I think I know who you're referring to, and I hope that isn't the case. I hope that this is just because I do remember, and again, as I said in my episode 1, it's been some years since I played the video game, but I do remember, and we'll talk about Henry and Sam, but I do know that they were attached to a group of hunters. But if I'm thinking of who you're talking about, those were 2 separate groups. So I hope that they're not replacing that group and that particular individual, especially since if I'm remembering the original trailer, I think we're going to get who you're talking about a little bit later, but I could be wrong. But we'll talk about Caitlin and that group, but kind of backtracking a little bit to get your thoughts on Ellie and the gun. Were you one of the ones that thought that it was going to end up getting them in trouble, get her in trouble, get someone killed, or it was going to work to their advantage? As well as I was referring to Joel opening up more to Ellie. What'd you think about just kind of the first 10 to 15 minutes of this episode, in particular Ellie and Joel?
I think that book of puns really helped open the gateway.
Right. Like in the
Ellie
movie
and Joel. Mm-hmm. And when Ellie came to Joel's rescue, it really gave him that connection.
Right.
Because he showed her how to use it.
Right, how to properly use it. Yep.
And then he told her, "Yeah, please put it in your pack because you don't want to get your butt shot off." Basically, so
right.
That was great. But I still think there's a little. We know there's a long road ahead of that.
Yes.
That connection still. So
right.
It was amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was going to say, but you also noticed Ellie when she shot that guy. There seemed like there was a little bit of remorse there. And I don't think she enjoyed it. I don't think she really enjoyed it. It may have appeared, but I don't think she did.
Yeah, we'll dive into that when we get to that point. Yeah, I'm definitely kind of torn between 2 because again, I always try to take the little peek at the end of the episode when they do the episode inside the episode. And I think the director said that there was a moment of I don't know if remorse is the word, but it was a moment of like realizing that this is, these are lives and, life and death and I'm hurting someone, but then she's able to kind of switch and kind of move on pretty quickly. So we'll definitely dive into that a little bit later. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Jay. The first half to me really kind of, even though it was a little bit slower paced, but I appreciate those slow burns because what they're doing is they're developing these characters, developing the relationship. And again, my biggest takeaway from this episode is seeing Joel smile, not once, but multiple times this episode.
Oh, yeah.
When you open your heart up, there's so many different ways of allowing people in your life, positively or negatively, but opening your heart up to someone and showing that more vulnerable side, your humor, to me is just, pointing in the right direction that Ellie is slowly but surely working into the good graces of Joel, and she's becoming someone that he cares for, as he has with his daughter, Tommy and Tess. So I really enjoyed that element too. So before we move on, my man Jay and everyone in the chat, just a reminder to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll try to get to them as often as we can. But we got another guest that I haven't seen in a while since the House of the Dragon discussion. So I'm excited to have her on, and so excited to hear her thoughts on the show. I'm talking about the one and only Elle coming in. What it do, Al? How we doing?
Hello. Hi.
It's
How are
been a
y'all?
minute. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's been so long. So happy to
It
see you. I
has
know
been
you got
so
your
long.
you moved recently, got your new setup. I'm loving the background and all that stuff. So listen, y'all. Uh so excited to have her on the channel again. L, this is Jay, by the way. J L.
Hi, Jay.
Well, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing
Good.
wonderful.
Lovely. Two of my favorite people, man. So excited to
If we
have
didn't
y'all
have
on.
this, we'd probably be watching the Grammys to see Beyonce's performance. But
Jay,
you
Yeah,
know,
I'm so out of touch with music, man. I didn't even know the Grammys were tonight, bro. I
I
didn't
didn't
even
either.
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Is she
we
performing? I
pick
even
and choose.
is B is she performing tonight, y'all? A little bit of sneak peek
From what I
of
heard,
her
she was
concert.
performing,
Okay.
but
Is
you know,
anyone talking about it on
we
Twitter?
I
No, I can
think
see a bunch of.
because I got Paramount Plus, I can watch a rebroadcast of that. So
Gotcha. Yeah,
it's all good for me.
I'm looking through Twitter, man. I ain't seen no Beyonce tweets. Maybe it's she's coming soon. But L, man, how you been? Talk to me. How have you before we get into tonight's episode? And Jay, I want to go back to you too because I haven't had you on in a couple weeks. But L, your thoughts on the show so far? First 3 episodes going to tonight. Are you enjoying the show? Hating it? Pedro Pascal doing his thing? Talk to us.
I am loving the show. I can never hate anything that Pedro Pascal is doing. It's just against the law. I'm not gonna do it. You're not gonna get me to admit it. Pedro Pascal is one of my favorites. I'm enjoying the show, and I'm excited to see more like action, more movement and stuff like that. But I am interested to see how they're giving us the character development and giving us the opportunity to get to know some of the characters better. This episode was great for me because I'm a dork. I love a dad joke, a pun, like corny jokes. Like that's my lane. So I giggled throughout this entire episode. So for me, this episode was great. I love the last episode, and I saw a lot of parallels between how people are finding connection, like positive connection during this like wild, you know, post-apocalyptic time. And the way that connection looks now, you know what I'm saying? Like connection in 2023 with no clickers and zombies or what have you, is what we know. But the way that people are finding connection and finding people to bond with obviously looks different during those times. So we saw last episode how these two men found each other and found this love and relationship and life together. And then we see this episode, the way that Ellie and Joel are connecting and finding commonality between, each other this way. So I'm enjoying it, but I want to see somebody chased or bit or like shot or something like that. Like I want some more like juice. And that like we're in the, I guess they call it resistance. They weren't giving it to me the way that I wanted them to.
Yes,
But
that's how I felt as well. Yeah.
they crank it up. I don't see the lady, whoever she was, Kathleen, I think her name was.
The leader of this new group. Yeah.
Like, she was giving me like homeschool teacher that like bakes fresh baked bread. You know what I mean? Like the one that's like the PTA. She wasn't giving me like cold-blooded killer that
I'm glad you. Yes. Yep.
So I'm interested to see how she got to that point. Like, how did she get to the point where all these military men and women are following her?
Exactly.
And listen to what she says. So I'm interested to see that too.
Well said. And to Jay's point, as he said earlier, I think hopefully we're going to get that next week, especially based on a trailer that we're going to probably get a little bit more of her and her relationship with Perry, how she became to be. And it is, to your point, Elle, I think she could have been that teacher cooking cookies. But again, how does she get to this point now, become this, as the show has presented as this. Again, I watched a little inside the episode after, and the director, his word was she's a ruthless leader. And to your point, Elle, I didn't get that from her moment, especially her little, and we'll get to the scene, but her little speech, I'm like, I don't know if that feels like, all right, we're going to find Henry. We're going to, like, that felt like a little, it didn't come easy. It didn't come natural, I guess I would say would be the word. But before we get
to
that,
they be doing it on purpose?
That and also I said in the watch along that I thought that, and someone had mentioned that maybe she wasn't the initial leader and she's kind of filling in, but then again, based on the show, no, she is the leader. She was the one to kind of get these people together and rally to take on the military and occupy this space. So I think that, I don't know why it's coming off like it's coming off a little like, it doesn't feel natural and it doesn't feel menacing. But again, hopefully next week we'll explore that. But before we get to that point, Jay, tossing it to you, we got Elle and Joel in the woods. And he hints at the idea that, yeah, we're okay for now as far as clickers and infected go, but there are worse things in this world than those, and that is people. And he kind of, plants that seed in there because that leads to what we get a little bit later. But again, seeing them, overnight, Jay, and again, trying to crack the jokes, trying to get more into them. And again, emphasis on the world building. We're in the forest, seeing all this stuff. What were some scenes that stood out to you with them again in the woods and then just developing this relationship for you, Jay?
Well, the chef already at the bonding and eating
some ravioli. Man, I ain't had no ravioli.
Jay, but you know what? These are again going back to the dad jokes. Joe being on guard. He was always on guard. He obviously he couldn't sleep because even once after he told Elle that there are always people out there, he midway through sleep, he got up and just stood around and watched for make sure that there weren't going to be invaders. Mm-hmm. So you already knew that he was probably referenced back to Bill's letter, protect Lily. But am I saying that right? It was not Lily.
Well, it was saying to protect Tess, but obviously Tess is gone. So it's
Tess, right? So now Tess told Joel to protect Elle, and then Bill told Joel to protect Tess. So I think it's all these connections, and I think it's starting to evolve to where he knows he needs to protect Elle. So, and I think at that point where he's on guard now. He's on 100% guard now to where he needs to do that, and so he couldn't sleep.
Yeah, no, well said, man. I definitely can see that there. And tossing it to you, Elle, to that point that James just mentioned on this on guard moment. There are moments at the beginning where he's letting her in a little bit more. He's smirking, he's smiling, he's laughing at some of the jokes. He's explaining things to her more as far as siphoning off gas. But then he kind of takes a step back, Elle. And I just want to get your thoughts as well as Jay, but starting with you, Elle. He goes ahead and talks about when they're in the car now, and he mentions, they bring up, he talks about Tess and, you do this for, why is it that Joe, you're cold, but why is it that you're continuing to move forward? And he mentions family. You do this for family. You do this for legacy. This, that, where she points out, well, I'm not your family. He says, you're not my family. You're cargo. So again, I don't know if we're taking steps back, if it was just a reminder to her, to him that, there is a mission. You are just a mission to me. But I don't know, Elle, did you take anything away from that scene? And did you feel bad for Elle of, thinking that she's building to this relationship with Joel only to take some 10 step back?
I didn't necessarily feel bad for her. I thought that gave me a lot of insight as to who Joel is, because Joel is all we really know about him is that he's a military man and a family man, right? He's a brother and a father. He's a military man, right? He's a combat vet. He's done his thing. Yeah. That's all we have, really. You know what I'm saying? Especially for me. I haven't played the game. I didn't even know this thing was a game. But those are the two things we know about him. So that was a perfect scene to show us all of the pieces that we know about him, right? Because Joel now has something to live for. When he was in the QZ, he was just tossing them bodies in the fire, doing a smuggling thing, and that was it. He didn't really have anything to live for. But I think a lot of times with military men, and I don't want to, and women and people, and I can't speak for them because I'm a civilian, like a hard civilian. But when you have like those people, like when they are ingrained in that, they find purpose in having a mission, right? Like they find purpose and having something to do. Like, this is my job. I'm about to do it. Come hell or high water, right? But he's also a family man. He's also a father. And he understands the importance of, like, that's his old pre-zombie apocalypse or whatever this is. Right. Coming through, bleeding through. And so that's like a perfect combination of the two parts of him that we know the most. Because he was that way with his daughter. We saw that for like the 5 minutes that they were together. He would talk to her, and he wasn't like a overly touchy-feely kind of person, because So it's not like he's gonna be like, listen, honey, what you want to do is you really want to think about that's not who he is. So he's gonna
That's not his
talk to
DNA.
her that way, you know what I mean? And he's a hard guy, he's a tough guy. So I really like that scene. And Ellie is a hard girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She
Right.
Quarantine zone. She grew up in a militarized area. She knows how to shoot because they taught her at school. She knows all these things because they taught her those things. And her personality and his is very much reminiscent of what he had with his daughter. So I feel like a muscle memory with him. Like he doesn't even, you know what I mean? He's trying to fight back against like opening up too much, but he can't even help it because of the way that she is with him, which is what his daughter was with him. That's the kind of jaunty back and forth relationship that they had. And so I really thought that scene was cool because it gave you insight as to who they both were. And it gave you insight as to the fact that even though she grew up in the QZ, she still knows what stuff is, right? She knew what was going on, like in terms of that nudie mag and why the kids stuck together and like that whole thing. Like she knows stuff, right? So he's not like a babe in the woods. But I thought that scene was really cool, and it really helped me to understand who both of them are and were. Yeah.
Well said. And Jay, tossing to you, man, your thoughts on the scene, or if you want to add anything on to what Elle was saying, but just my 2 cents in the matter. I definitely, you know, the whole him fighting for Tommy, now Elle in the mix. I definitely could see that purpose. But what you think, Jay?
I think maybe, I don't know between the two of you, but me, I'm a parent. I got 2 boys, 14 and one going to be 16 soon. I have that kind of connection with the jokes and everything, and so I get it. You know, it's the dad jokes, and they always toss the dad jokes at me, and or the puns, and I toss it back at them. So that is a great connection to have with your children, and so it was kind of a beautiful moment for me to actually see that, and I was like, oh, you know, so it was, and so I think some people might appreciate that as well when they see that scene. So it's kind of an awesome bond, and
I agree, man.
And even watching him siphoning that gas out of the car, I you know, when I seen that's kind of the thing that when I helped with my dad work on cars when I was a kid, it's like
show you little things like that. Yeah,
you did that with your dad. You worked on cars, and so it's those kind of bonding moments that you see.
And it was very much like a dad too, because he didn't know how to, like, he didn't know the science behind how to gas.
Right.
I did laugh about that.
We don't need to know how. Yeah.
Don't
worry about it. Yeah.
Just watch what I do and let's get going.
Right. Yeah.
You know, to Jay's point, and as far as just those moments, I think it is pivotal, especially Jay, knowing that, you know, we both played the game, and I haven't played part 2, but I'm familiar with some of the beats. And, you know, a lot of these things that you just mentioned, Jay, whether it is how to siphon gas, how to shoot a gun, how to really adapt to this world and be a survivalist, those are things that Elle does take to her as she grows older and gets more accustomed to this world and outside of the QZ. So I think it's important. These little moments, it might seem like she wasn't paying attention, she's laughing at the moment, but she's keeping that. She's the thing I like about Elle, not only from the game, but also that they're showing the show, and I think Bella's doing a good job. She has the teenager moments, right? She's a kid, she's joking, everything's funny, you know, in a certain light, but she's paying attention. She's very self-aware of all the little things. Is a moment even in this episode, I can't remember the exact line, but there's things that she was like, she called back like, oh, you know, you mentioned this earlier. Is that what you meant by that? And even from the moment with episode 1 with the radio, 80 songs. So she's smart, she's witty, she plays it off like she's just one of those kids that don't pay attention, but she's very self-aware of her environment, which I really appreciate about her.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. I feel like, you know, she was born into that environment. She was born into an emergency situation. Like, you know what I mean? You have to be aware. Like I have one of my boys, like he will literally, I'm not even exaggerating, chase a butterfly. Like he'd be like, oh my God. And he'll just like take off. Like he just, you know, but like kids in that environment can't do that. So you have to pay attention and be aware and pay attention and remember things. And you know what I mean? So I feel like she's a great example of what kids will grow up like in that kind of environment. And I think she's really cool. And she's a smart ass, and she like
Yes.
cuss you out, and she's like, you know what I mean? I think she's a great character. So I'm excited to see what she's gonna give us.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm gonna get your thoughts,
agree.
Jay. What I love about Elle from the game and this show, she isn't the only word, a damsel in distress. She's very capable, but she's also not gonna just roll over and just be like, "Help!" She's like she can be about that action. So that's what I appreciate about Elle. But Jay, did you have something to add, man?
Oh no, well, just the fact that she looks like she could already take care of herself, if need be, if anything could happen to Joel at any moment, and I mean, she's already starting at that age. I mean, from a lot of stuff that she was taught in the QZ.
Yeah.
I'm still going back to the episode 3 before they get back to the. I mean, before they started the Frank and Bill, it's like how she was just straightforward with Joel. You know, I still don't think she really meant that. I think
as far as the bluntness of talking about you and Tess were adults and you made your own decision.
Yeah, I think she had some guilt there, a lot of guilt.
Interesting,
but and I just because she had a connection with Tess there.
Yeah, brief, but it was a connection for sure. Yeah,
there was a connection there, and just losing Tess, because if you remember, as they were pulling out of that dome, she was saying, "We can't leave her."
Yeah, she had, like I said, it was a brief moment, but there was a connection there for sure. She definitely took that to heart, seeing Tess go out that way for sure. Yeah.
At the same time, she does need Joel, and because she hasn't had that father figure at all in her life
that we know of. From the
know of, and she's trying really hard to break that barrier with Joel, and it's working. And the fact that she had got Joel to talk about her about his brother was a great scene in that truck. I love that.
Very much so. Very good point, Jay. Like I said, it's subtle. It's not very abrasive to an extent. She is, but she's not like overly like, tell me more. He told her in episode 2, when they were sitting in the little area and when Tess was going around, you don't need to know about my past. But, she said, okay, I'm going to keep that in my back pocket and I'm going to wait to the moment to bring that up again. And then she, like you said, Jay, she brought it up here and she was able to get it out. She didn't, it wasn't forced. She just naturally said, told him about Tommy and how Tommy has went to the military for purpose. He thought he was going to come out a hero, which he didn't. He found the Fireflies and thought he was going to have purpose again, but he ended up leaving them. So yeah, you're very, very right. So to say, Jay, that he's opening up more. And Ellie, like I said, she's a kid, man, and she's smarter than she's giving off. She's able to get those moments out of her. She's very, very smart in her ways. But Elle, I want to toss it to you and get to one of our more action heavy scenes as we see that they have made it to this particular area in Kansas City. Tried to take the easy route, Elle, and as they say, sometimes the easy route isn't always the best route, and it leads them into finding these as we learn that they're part of this group here. Elle, you listen, Elle, we know Joel has seen it all. He's like, nope, I ain't pulling over for this individual. He already knew it was up, but unfortunately, they cut the tires. They have this shootout. And again, as game players, we know that they're going to be okay. Yeah. But I still felt the tension. Elle, I don't know. Again, I know you haven't played the game. What did you think about the scene? Were you kind of on edge? Like, I don't know if, Joel, Ellie, are they going to be okay? What did you think about this scene? Did you feel the tension in this moment?
Yeah, I thought it was tense. I was excited because, it's been real, it's been slow. Not that I wasn't entertained or invested, but, last episode was completely slow and it's been slow up to that point. So I was itching. I was leaning all in. I was ready for it. But
ready for that action.
I wasn't at all worried about whether or not they would be okay because I knew they we're going to be fine. But I think for me, I was like, okay, now we're going to have some action, right? Because I know a lot of times it's not necessarily the zombies or the infected that are the threat, right? It's
threat,
the remaining people that are the real threats. I'm like, cool. We got some more people now that we're gonna be able to see and understand. I I was watching it with somebody, we were texting, and they were like, why ain't stop and help that man? I was like, listen, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Because we don't have time to be trying to figure out whether or not you infected. We don't have that little radar in the turret. Like, we don't have time for that. We got like 5 minutes worth of gas. I don't know you. You don't know me. We're gonna keep it pushing. And I wouldn't have stopped either. But I think Joel knew, like, because he was, out in the street doing his
He said
thing.
he did it before. He knows the game.
He knew what the deal was, right? And so a lot of people probably would have got caught up with that. But I wasn't worried about whether or not they would be okay. And I figured this was gonna be the time where we get to see Ellie kind of, lean into her little ruthless, that little smirk that we saw when Joel was beating that man in episode 1 that she gave. Like that, I knew we were gonna get a little bit more of that, and I know we're gonna see more and more of that. But I was like, yeah, this what I was waiting on, because I know she got it in her. She gives me that little girl from Look at the Flowers. What was her name from The Walking Dead? Like, how
Carol, right?
Not Carol, but the girl, Lizzie. You remember Lizzie from Lizzie was
Walking
the girl
Dead
that Carol shot.
Oh, the little crazy girl, right?
Nuts, yeah. Like
she found them. They found them on the road, and yes. I know you're talking about.
Like
Look at the.
That's what Ellie reminds me of. Like, I feel like she's just gonna snowball, and we're just gonna have a problem with her. I don't know if that's how the game goes, but in my mind, that's what's gonna happen. So
listen, Elle, I don't want to give anything. Just know that Elle in the game has. Listen, she's a survivalist. I'll just say that she definitely.
I feel it. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, and the show has done a good job of building to those moments that I think we're going to see in this season. But Jay, man, add your 2 cents in the matter, man. Your thoughts on this action sequence, and how did you feel about the tension? Again, we played the game, we know, and then even if you haven't played the game, it's 9 episodes. We know that no one's going to, like, important character's not going to die right now. But
I was ready for it.
I felt the tension in that scene.
I felt the tension, and I was ready for it. I liked how they played it out. They played it out like the way I figured they would, and it was great action. And Joel knew exactly what to do, but of course he couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
But it was great tension. It was great action, and of course they got trapped, and and I was hoping for a little bit more body count, to be honest with you.
Oh, with that particular shootout?
Yes. I mean, just because it seemed like that's the way it was played in the game for me, but it was all right. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
But I was ready for it. I was like, yeah, get it, go there, turn right.
Right. No, I felt it, man, and I think more importantly, going back to the whole. Should Ellie have a gun or not? And Elle, getting your thoughts on this, I think it was going to work one or two ways. It was going to either help them, or she was going to end up getting someone killed. And in this case, it kind of worked for the best, which it did help them, but she ended up leading to someone dying and Joel doing the final punches. So Elle, your thoughts on Mrs. Ellie here getting that gun and shooting the guy in the back and having him and Joel showing mercy and taking him out. What'd you think about that scene?
Well, as a card-carrying member of I only have a gun because everybody else got a gun, I'm not mad at it. Like, that's the only reason I got one, is because everybody around here had one, so I'm not going to get caught slipping. So that's what she's on, right? Like, she's like, listen, Joe
we got one.
Everybody out here got guns. You don't want me to have one because you think I'm little. Right. I'm going to take care of myself, which is why I love her, because I would have done that too. Like, if anything were to happen to Joel, then what's she gonna do? Like, she just gonna be stuck.
Right.
So she's gonna take care of herself.
Her little knife.
Survivalist, like you said. So I understood sneaking and taking a gun, right? I understood that part. And she's used to guns because she had that in school. So her not having one didn't make sense to me. And I knew she was gonna get one anyway. And I'm glad she did. Yes. Because then Joel would have been meeting his family in heaven.
He would have been,
right.
RIP.
Yeah, so
it worked in the story,
and they have to like work together. Like in that situation, you can't treat her like a baby, like a kid. You know what I mean? She has to be your backup, like your wing person, and she is that in this very scene. So need another gun. Actually, she needs
a couple of them.
Stuff that she doesn't have right now.
No, well said. I definitely agree with you, and so much so the director and the after show said that yes, they're a team now. So I'm glad you pointed that out because yes, you can't be in this cold world. Jay, getting your thoughts on it. You can't just be in this world and just expect someone to survive with a knife. You know, they need to watch your six. They need to keep you protected in that case. So your thoughts on it, Jay, about this gun?
Yeah,
more particularly, going back to the L conversation, do you think she had remorse in hurting that guy?
Yeah, I still think she had. We talked about it, and I said that she had remorse. I liked how it worked. It worked up to her not having the gun up until she found the gun in Bill's and Frank's house, getting Frank's gun.
Yeah.
And it worked. I mean, if Joel ended up giving her a gun, it wouldn't have been so surprising at this scene. It would have been like, oh. It worked that she found the gun and Joel found out that she had it. It worked just better this way than just randomly giving her a gun, is what I'm basically saying. So
right,
I liked it this way, and it worked. And the remorse, I still think there was remorse, but she just, like we said, she snapped out of it and was ready to move on real quick.
See, I didn't get remorse though. I got like this is what I've been practicing for. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get that she was like, oh damn, I'm about to
shot him in the back. He can't walk no more.
Like, okay, this is what we've been practicing at Targets and like pumpkins and whatever, and not this is a real person. This is it. This is like, let me take a deep breath and get ready because this is gonna be my first, or my second. I don't know, but time, doing that. And I don't think I don't think she has that same like respect for life that we would think that she has. Not that I don't think she's like just yet. I don't think she's like cold and ruthless. Like, I don't care about you and your life. Get up. I'm gonna shoot you and kill you, and that's just it. But I think
she did cry though.
I was gonna ask you, what did you think the tear
I've
came
also
from?
seen people shoot a gun at a target and cry, like the adrenaline of that, and
just
like
kind of an emotional reaction
build up of it, and getting that out. They'll like cry but because if it was real remorse and if she really felt bad for it, she wouldn't have been able to cry 1 and 2 and then just that'll just be that, because she wiped that away quick and came back. You know what I mean? And was normal again. So I don't know. I think she's a lot more ruthless and calculating than just like a little, oh, I'm so sad. I don't think that's it at all.
That's interesting because I think Nate taking out the effect in the basement last episode was easy, but taking out a boy scream, that's what I was going to get to, and kind of to get into that thoughts. I think, to your point, Elle, I think there is a darker side to Ellie. I think there is a darkness to anyone in this world and the circumstances they find themselves in. But I think the tear comes from, I think it is different than, when you're taking out a clicker, taking out, something that doesn't have that humanity to them. And then here, because she even says, do you feel bad when you take these people out? And he says, it's part of the survival. But I think for her, that was like, it was real, right? And I think to your point, Elle, is a lot of the adrenaline going on. You literally hear, which by the way, that guy, Brian, I think his name, he was totally blowing smoke. Oh, my mom, we can trade with each other. We'll forgive each other. No. He was in survival mode. He was just saying whatever he thought he could to get out of the situation. But I think Elle and Jake, any your thoughts on it? I do think there was maybe a slight minutes, maybe if not seconds, that she did kind of feel bad about hurting an actual human being versus someone that's infected. But I think, like you said, Jay, you got to move on. Like, unlike maybe if this was Sarah, she would have been broken. She would have been silent for a week that she just hurt someone. But I think Elle, to show the difference of how she is, she's able to embrace that. I just hurt someone. Like, this is a human being that I just hurt, but this is part of the world. So I think she's able to react a little bit differently than someone maybe at her own age, like a Sarah would have. Well, Sarah would have been older if she was alive, but I think if Sarah was in that position, she would have been shooken for a while. But your thoughts on that, Jay?
Yeah, well, that's what I pretty much was saying, that her remorse may have lasted for a short minute or so, but she was ready to move on because it was because it's her survivor mode kicked back in, and so
you got to realize. And plus, too, Not to cut you off, Jay, but plus two, she's been with Joel and before Tess died. She's seen some. I mean, it hasn't been a lot, but she's seen some things she's probably never seen before. But
Right.
again, it's about adapting. You just lost Tess. You walked into this Bill and Frank situation. It's like death and death and death. So it is a matter of like you can't be in a normal world where it's like, oh, someone died, let's mourn them, let's bury them. It's like you got to move on. You don't want to end up like them.
Right.
So
right, and as Miss L said over here about how Ellie was watching Joe just punch that guard, and just how she was just not looking away. I mean, I could not watch someone getting
beat to a pulp like that. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, you got to stop at some point. I'd be like, stop. That's just too much for me.
Yeah.
But she was that. I was trying to tell someone, we were having this discussion at the water cooler at work, and I was saying, didn't that seem like to you that she was enjoying it? And
and to your point, Jay, the director said that she did enjoy it, or she didn't. I won't say enjoy. It ignited something in her, like it activated her, is what they said was the word. Yeah.
And so so as you're saying, it's what everybody's saying. She does have a little dark side to her, but I don't think it's like. It's something. I think it's something she's built up into her that she doesn't really truly enjoy, to be honest with you. I think it's something that I don't think she hates. I think she hates having that feeling, in my honest opinion.
Interesting.
I think it's something that she prefer not to have. I think the only reason why she has it is because of all the experiences that she's had.
It's kind of a necessity.
Because of the experience that we played the game and what she's gone through in her life. And I think she would rather have good things to enjoy. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that as we evolve through the series.
For sure.
And I wish I could say what I mean by that, but
we'll find. We'll get those happier, quieter, more enjoyable moments hopefully in the future. But before we move on, just a couple things, because I know someone had mentioned that you notice how Joel didn't really embrace her, like Elle said earlier. That's not who Joel is. But so two things I do appreciate in that scene. Number one, to not like, oh, you're okay, hugging each other. It's like, because I hate when they do that in films. Like, y'all got to be on your P's and Q's. Y'all just almost got killed. So you got to keep your alarm up. But I also appreciate that Joel didn't just immediately snap on her about the gun. Like, because if she didn't have that gun, as Elle said, he would end up like those two men in this room right now, dead. So I do appreciate that he didn't clap back at her. Didn't I tell you not to get a gun? Like, he realized, he read the room, he didn't say thank you, but he did say thank you in a way without, forcing his hand in that moment. I think he was very appreciative that he's able to continue on with the help of Elle. And she saved his life, if we're being honest. She did save his life.
Also, too, I think his way of saying thank you is like letting his guard down a little. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Then you can have conversations. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, that's when they giggling at the dad jokes. That's when, he's talking to her more about whatever. And, he made sure that, it's just his way of, because again, Joel is still dead on the inside. Just because he has this mission doesn't mean that he's not still dealing with all his stuff. And we don't know I don't know what Ellie has dealt with in the QZ and what she considers to be a happy life. Has she had happy experiences? Is that chicken sandwich that she ate the best thing that ever happened to her in her life? I don't know. Right? So maybe, that's why I keep thinking, because I don't know anything about her, obviously.
Right.
But I keep thinking like that's where she's going to find, like, not necessarily, ma'am, get down, please, girl. That's what she's gonna find her, like, joy, for lack of a better word, because grew up, like, she was born into this, violence, death, destruction, smelling dead
apocalyptic worlds.
Exactly. So she doesn't have like, oh, I'm about to go to the mall, or I'm about to call my best friend, and you know what I mean. So she might find joy in just like taking people out. Like, that's why
her first time in a car was last week, right? Seatbelts, car.
She's like, I'm in this car. I'm new to all of this.
A map. What is a map? Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be a part where she excels.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing her, and then like her evolving, but then also her like, you know what I mean? Like just kind of devolving into like a killer, which I'm looking forward to, which is that's my prediction anyway.
Yeah, well, I'll just say this: you're not too far off. There is definitely a side of her that is more barbaric or more cold and calculus for sure. But that's what the world does.
Look who they casted. They casted Lady Marmont. They're not
come
gonna,
on now.
You know what I mean?
She took out a frost giant, a white giant. Y'all, do y'all not remember that?
That's what I'm saying. Like the North remembers. I know her, like, and she knows us. So I know they're gonna give us something with her character, and I can't wait. I'm telling you, I'm itching to see it.
I hear you. Now, speaking of, go ahead, Jay.
She's amazing. I was gonna say she is doing a really good job playing Bella, in my honest opinion. I mean Ellie. Bella Ramsey is doing a really good job playing Ellie, in my honest opinion, from the transition from the game to the live action.
I agree, my friend. I agree. And again, before we kind of pivot over to these next points and get to the end of the episode and theorize what we can expect next, just a friendly reminder to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. My man Jay's on Instagram, which we'll be sharing his information at the end of this video, as well as Elle. You can find her information in the description as well. So definitely show them some support. It goes a long way. But Elle, I want to start with you because we share the same sentiment on this individual here. Now, Melanie, she's a fantastic, before we get into maybe some of my criticism, she's a fantastic actress. But her is this new character, Elle, and I think, like I said, we spoke about it a little bit earlier, but just to kind of get into the weeds of it, I didn't buy this. I didn't buy this conversation with the doctor, which I'm still kind of, again, I'm going to have to rewatch the episode, but it seems to be that there's a situation at hand where she's looking for Henry, who we meet at the end of the episode, who's on the run. Henry knows about her brother, who's also still out there. Some information that Henry has that she doesn't want to be out there for some reason. But as she's talking to the doctor, she points the gun at him. She leaves the room and, ultimately kills him. I didn't buy into her menacing side. I never really bought. To me, it felt like it was like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this, versus what the show showed us. And the director said, no, she is a cold, calculus, ruthless leader. I didn't get that vibe. Now, again, to Jay's point, as you mentioned earlier, we might see that next week. I hope we see that next week. But so far, first impressions are everything. And the first impressions for this new character in the show as this big bad, I ain't buying it.
Nah, I'm not either. And that's actually my favorite kind of big bad, like the ones that are quiet and like don't, do too much talking. And
they think they're right. They think what they're doing is 100% the only
like way. You can't convince them that what they're doing is not right and that they don't have the upper hand. I love that kind of like, that almost makes them like scary and intimidating to me sitting at my house and in my living room watching.
I agree.
Her, on the other hand, I could just trip her. Like that's what I just thought. Like her, I could just get up and just like
at the sky
like a linebacker and just take the gun and just knock it. You know what I mean? Because she just didn't give me that like feeling of like I better sit here and do exactly what she says, because if she doesn't, she's gonna come on. I would have just probably just took her little bread out of her head and she would have. It looked like she would have just been sad about it. I don't know. But
it's her temperament. Her temperament is almost too calm and collected to me.
Right. It's not there's not that underlying like evil, sinister feeling that you can get from a character like that, because it's not that she's not cussing and like all in your face. Aggressive. You don't have to do that.
Look at Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. My man just walked into a room.
I remember her name from Urana, the wife of the gangster from Urana. That girl is scary. I don't remember her name, but that girl is scary. Like stuff like that. I love that, but her, I don't get that. She looked like she was about to take a Girl Scout troop on a camping walk through the wilderness, and she just wasn't giving me scary. So maybe next week she's gonna do something different, and I need them to explain to me why people are following her command. Like what did she do to earn that respect from these vigilantes or whoever they are? I don't know who they are, but what did she do to that, to command that respect?
I agree. Now, Jay, I know you might be the only one in the panel tonight, and I know some people in the chat are on your side, Jay. But talk to us, man. What was it about her? Because I know you say you felt some of it and you thought that some of it maybe was on purpose to kind of show like she has this more delicate side. She has this like nature to her that she doesn't want to do things, but then that's where she gets you. She tricks you into think that she's being vulnerable. But talk to me, Jay. How do you feel about this introduction to the character? And do you think that this is just a what is it they say? A sheep in wolves, clothing. Is she just pretending to be kind of more understanding?
I think Charlie Harper broke her heart, so she's just kind of recuperating from that.
I would say, is that a reference to a show or a movie she was in?
2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen's character.
She was the stalker, right?
Yeah.
She was. Elle, did you watch 2.5 Men? Okay, so I never watched a show like that, but I get the reference, Jay. I got the reference, my friend.
Okay.
She was the stalker of this show.
and so yeah. So
dad jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Dad jokes. That's what we're about.
So no, I'll stay on track here. I don't know. Maybe the showrunners are doing this on purpose, showing that this character is, this is not her play. She's just a soft, nurturing person, showing off. Maybe she looks like the soft, nurturing person, and you don't really get to see her dark side until later. But I get it. I really get where you're saying it. It's not being sold. Hopefully next week we get to see some nastiness in there. Maybe she's the type of characters, because sometimes you get those villains in shows that don't like to get their hands too dirty, in a sense, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah,
they're the ones that will say, "Hey, I need you to." They're the ones that sit on the chair and bark the orders and get the henchmen to do the minions or whatever to do all the dirty work. But then again, she shot the doctor.
I would say, then she did get her hand. Yeah, she killed the man point blank for this information, which again, I'm still kind of, hopefully we find out what is it that she's, besides, look for Henry, she doesn't want anyone to leave her group, I guess, so cultist like. But yeah, and I love this comment by Nate. For anyone that watched Euphoria might get this reference, but there was I can't think of the character's name, but it was like it's a teacher. She was literally a teacher in the show. And she was like this big bad drug dealer. She never like went over a monotone of like 8. She was just very cool, calm, and collective. But she was, I'm not comparing exactly. She was very scary. But again, I love Melanie. I know she's a great actress, but I just didn't get that from her in this episode. But shout out to Nate, because I know exactly what character you're referring to in season 2. She was very, very soft spoken, but very menacing. She's shooting people in the head unprovoked. Okay. Now that we know Mara's in the building, we can start now. Just in case you guys didn't know, Mara's in the building. Shout out to Mara. Good seeing you. Appreciate you coming through.
What's up, Mars?
Let's see here. Kenny's talking about she wasn't soft and nurturing to the old man, and they can tell, she popped him in the head. And I guess to be fair to her, just thinking about it, they have established that he was important to her, because if it wasn't for him, he gave birth to her. That was her doctor. Right. I'm pretty sure that he provided her with other medical assistants as well as other people in that place. So, and I'm sure doctors don't come easily in this world. So I guess it does speak to her that she's willing to kill a doctor for information, kind of shows her more darker side. I don't know. Am I reaching L, or do you see where I'm going for? It does have.
I feel like we as a viewing audience are just dead on the inside. Like we just be looking for stuff to like if we were normal viewing people, we'd have been like, oh my God, I can't believe she just killed that man in the container. Yeah. And we watched this lady kill the man in the container. We like, man, that's not enough. We didn't do enough.
Right. We in a world of, you mentioned Walking earlier, in a world with Negans and the bats being bitten over the head, we're kind of desensitized, right? We need someone. We need her to rip that man's tongue out of his mouth.
But that's really where we are now. So we gotta work with where we at. And I'm just saying, like, I mean, I understand, like, I get you. He might have information about where your brother is, but
and Henry and all that,
but why kill him like in a content? Like, did she do that to like send a message to somebody? Did it, like, I don't know.
Well, no one else saw it. With the message,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what was the point of that? Because he did have information, he can't give it to her now, and then if he didn't, then now you don't have a doctor. So I just didn't understand what the point of it was, and then why she was telling him about his rights, about his access to a lawyer and right to medical aid. Like she was, I don't know. I didn't understand that part of it all. And I just was looking for more information on that. It just seemed
Now I'm backtracking. That was kind of stupid. Why are you killing a doctor that's probably needed for other when people? Because I know the guy got shot. He's like, "Can a doctor help?" Like, "Oh no, he's dead." Well, let me just kill the doctor. Well, just because someone got shot in the stomach don't mean you can't heal someone from a twisted ankle or just, I don't know. Jay, I'm just trying to find something.
In a cage for his whole life, and you just gonna treat these people when they come in, and then that's just it. Like we just gonna use you for your skills and nothing else. So I don't know, but maybe it's gonna make sense next week. Hopefully,
that's what I hope. That's what I hope, L and J. I do hope that we get, which again, based on the trailer, does like we're gonna be spending more time in this particular area and maybe getting a better understanding of her brother. Because, and I guess in reality, again, she's a created character, so this is new lore to all of us because she wasn't in the video games. But I guess there might be some relation because it seems like she's looking for her brother, and we know Joel's looking for his brother as well. So there might be an understanding to an extent, but I don't know. Whatever Henry has that she wants from him seems to be very pivotal. But
so is Henry the guy that we saw at the end? The older one or
the older one? Yeah, Henry's the older one. And Sam's the young one. Yeah, they're brothers. Well, in the game, they're brothers, but in the show, I don't know. They might switch it up. They might.
But in the show, Kathleen is their sister.
I don't think so.
No.
So I'm confusion in because Kathleen is. So Henry, the two brothers know where Kathleen brother is.
I would assume so. From what I gathered, Henry and Sam, Kathleen, this is a whole group of, from what I know from the game, are hunters. And Henry has some pivotal information, not only from her brother, but also maybe something that he knows. And she wants him for whatever reason. Again, he knows where the brother is. Maybe he got her brother killed. Maybe she just doesn't want anyone to be leaving this group because it can compromise their whole situation. If he leaves, he can tell, because she even says maybe he was the one that killed these people. Maybe he called people in to kill our group. So whatever Henry has besides information seems to be very pivotal for her. But hopefully we're going to find out. That's all I know. What if
I'm kind of aggravated that I didn't get that, because I feel like that's easy enough to get, like, you know what I mean? That's easy enough to walk me through that. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I don't know, but I didn't. Yeah. That didn't come easy to me, like that connection and weaving all of that together.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought her brother was killed. Yeah, I got to rewatch the episode because it was, I was taking the scene in while listening to her. So yeah, I got to rewatch it and kind of get the details. And maybe purposefully they didn't give us all the details for, it's like tune in next week. Kathleen looking older, looking for older brother Henry. So okay, so this is to your point, El. So someone else thought that was her brother. But I thought she was saying she was looking for her brother. Henry knows where her brother is. So we got to go. I would play it, but obviously I don't want HBO to be like, let me take this down. What if David is Kenny, very good. And I don't obviously, for those that play the game are familiar with David, but that would be
David.
Well, you'll know.
I know what
you'll know who David is if they, and I'm pretty sure they casted him. You'll know who he is. You'll know that name sooner rather than later. But that is a very good, interesting theory, Kenny. I like where your head's at, my friend. That would add a very interesting dynamic to this situation. But as we move along, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I was going a different direction on that one, but that would make more sense.
Yeah, that would be because that would be he's a key player. I'll just say that, Al, without giving such a name. David is a very interesting character, to say the least. Interesting is a word.
It'd be like the Donner Party, but
go ahead. Let's see. I'm just fast forwarding through, and again, I think Jay and L, just to get your thoughts on the title of this episode, which again was titled "Please Hold My Hand." I think someone mentioned in the comments earlier, I think it was Kenny potentially, but he said that he thinks the reference to the title is this moment here, which is essentially, the holding of the gun. This is where you put the gun, hold it here. I don't know, L, did you take anything away from that title, but more particularly this scene of Joel showing Elle how to use the gun properly for the future? What do you think about this whole moment here?
I knew the episode was called "Please Hold My Hand," and I didn't know why until, and it wasn't this moment. It was the moment when they were walking up them 9,000 flights of steps, and Joel was tired, and he sat down, and Ellie was like, "Come on, man, we gotta go. Like, let's go." And then he she held her hand out,
Oh, okay.
and he
Sorry.
That would make
helped him.
sense.
She helped him up, right?
Yes.
You know, like that. Because I
Gotcha.
feel
Okay.
like prior to all of the things that they had gone through, if they were in a situation like that and she wanted to help him up,
He would
would
be
have
like,
got up
get
on
out of
his
here.
own, and he wouldn't have accepted that. But that was a way of him and her breaking down like the walls that they have up and showing that they are building up to understanding that they're a team, at least for Joel. Like, I think Ellie is like, yeah, we a team, because I'm not gonna be able to make it out here without you. But Joel, I think, is starting to see her that way as well, because that's what you do.
I like where you're at, El.
You down, and I need help. Like, I'm gonna give you my hand, and you gotta help me up. And he wasn't looking at her like this little kid. He was looking at her as somebody who's like my teammate. That's what I took from it. I like it.
I like it too. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Listen, y'all, this is why you got to subscribe to Elle's channel, because she comes with the realness. She comes with the knowledge and everything in between. So now, great call, Elle. I think you're definitely spot on. And if you're not, I think that's the show's. I'm just following your lead, Elle. I'm going what you say. Anything you say goes. So I know I definitely feel you on that one.
I feel it too.
Quickly before we wrap up the episode here, the moment with Perry, Caitlyn's right-hand man. They're in this closed facility, and it seems to be something in the ground. Jay, what's going on, man? Is it popcorn popping? Is it the Ninja Turtles? Like, what's going on this ground surface, my man?
Do we dare mention it? As a spoiler, can I say it?
No.
Hey, I mean, throw your theory. If is it a theory? I mean, it might not be what you think, Jay. Where's your head at right now? What do you think is under the ground?
It's one of the evolved zombies, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stage 4.
Stage 4. Okay. I think I feel where you're coming from. I think I have to agree with you. Elle, do you have any idea of what can be rumbling under this ground? Is it global warming? Is it an unpaid water bill? What's going on?
Yeah. I think it's one of those ones that they were talking about, like that Tess was talking about with Ellie when they were walking through, or Joel. Somebody was telling her about the different phases that they go through, and how if they don't get taken out, they just keep evolving and they just get whatever. I think that Joker is under there, like, festering and doing whatever he's doing, and
we're pretty much on the same stage.
Yeah, I think you're reading what's going on, Elle. For someone that hasn't played the game, I think you're right on the money. I think you're right on the money, Elle, and I think everyone in the chat is as well. So yeah, I think we're in. And if you guys have seen the trailer for next week, I think they even allude to what we're referring to. So that's going to be exciting for so many reasons. But yeah, very much excited.
Well, I have a question, since both of y'all have played the game. The clickers are at a certain stage. Do they all click? Like, once they get bigger and like more gross, do they still click, like make that noise, or do they just like growl at you? Like, what's the noise associated with each stage of whatever it is? Or do they? I just want to know, because I don't like, they jump scared me on that episode when they were in the museum. I'm just trying to prepare myself. Like, if I could like understand the noise coming, then maybe I won't get jump scared.
Jay, I'm gonna let you take it away, man, because you've played the game probably more frequently.
If I can remember right, I think they still click, but they
excuse me,
they actually throw bombs at you too. They throw these spore bombs, and
which we might not get, because they have changed. They deviated from spores from the game to the show, so it might be something. They might be throwing poop at people in this one, Jay. You know.
So just to, since we already got it out there, they're called bloaters. So
yeah. But I have a question though. If like this were to be a real thing, would you want to like try to survive and fight through this, knowing that there are these kinds of things that like shoot spores out at you? And would you want to live through that and try to like survive and fight through for a cure, or would you want to just go ahead and meet your grandparents and your great grandparents and
to try to survive against the bloater, you would have to literally unload your weapon on them, because their skins.
Yeah, it's like impenetrable.
Right?
Impenetrable. I mean, you could defeat them, but it takes a lot.
Mhm.
It takes a lot.
Whenever you see one in the
Oh.
game, it's almost like a big, kind of a boss level moment. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta. You're probably going to die a few times before you figure out how to take them down, especially if you're playing on the more harder levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're. I'm very excited to see how the show handles that, and again, knowing that we have the showrunner or the show creator involved in the show, I think they're not gonna disappoint. So I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah, there was it the
Oh, and L, by the way, here's your, like I said, your perfect analogy in the way you explain the title. This is the moment here. I think you're right on the money, L, especially with the title. So yeah, love that connection. What were you saying, Jay?
clickers. I was going to say, was it the first stage is the I can't remember now. I know the second stage is the runners, the clickers, and the bloaters.
Yeah, the minute details slip my mind, but yeah, I think you're close to it. Yeah, what's going on there?
The clickers and the runners you can easily get around without, because if you just don't make noise or anything like that.
Yeah, because I can't see. Yeah.
So do bloaters run too?
Oh yeah.
Man, no.
Get the game.
Real out here, Al. Yeah.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I suggest.
I feel in my spirit that would give me high anxiety. I just can't. I don't think I could do. I need like a colorful, like Crash Bandicoot, like low stake kind of game. Don't give me high stakes. I will throw that controller in the garbage can. So I'll watch the show.
We got some love from Canada. Shout out to Canada. And again, shout out to everyone joining us tonight. Again, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Wrapping up this episode, Jay, we end with a pretty light note in a sense, where we have again, and again, going back to our conversation with L, paying attention to what Joel is doing. He's putting the glass there for he can hear someone, walking in. But then going back to what I mentioned, Elle's paying attention. She's taking that inventory in and stored it in her memory break. But then she also says, "Oh, the only reason I asked you that, Joel, is because I noticed you can't hear that well in your right ear. Does that have anything to do with your shooting or what that?" It's like, that is very, very good point, Elle. Just catching those little things. She's very attentive and pays attention to the details. So I like that.
Right.
But Jay, we get again, man. I'm a sucker for poop jokes and dad jokes, man. We get one of the funnier jokes of this moment where she says, Joel, having diarrhea is hereditary, right? He says, "Where are you going with this?" "Because it's in your genes." And ladies and gentlemen, we see Joel break it. Those that watch, it runs in your genes. Yes, thank you, Jay. Those that watched Saturday Night Live last night, when you see Pedro breaking character, seeing that laugh is so infectious. It's so great to see. So, Jay, your thoughts on how we end with that nice moment and literally seeing them, she finally broke them, but then ending on the note that we meet Henry and Sam, guns in faces. That joke doesn't last long because now there's someone pointing a gun at your face. And also, too, he didn't hear. It goes back to what Elle said. He didn't clearly hear anyone come into the room because the guns would be
Joel was sound asleep because I think he
knocked out.
He was knocked out. I think probably the stairs wore him out. Going up all those stairs,
right?
But maybe for once he might have felt safe. Not probably the gun might have been part of the reason Elle had a gun, and who knows? But I believe it was the stairs that wore him out, and and
the shootout and the driving for days. It all adds up. Yeah. It was a young whippersnapper anymore.
Yeah, everything that just took out of him, and he thought maybe the trusted the booby trap.
Yeah,
but just the fact that woke up and saw guns in her face, we know as gamers, we know that what's going to happen next, but it was good. It's the brothers. Oh boy, I did like the part where Miss L was saying the effort of them getting up the stairs, how she pulled him up and it's like, let's go. I like that part too.
Yeah, it was called a lazy ass.
Yeah, called him a lazy ass.
Yeah.
Did I miss what they ate? Did they have a little mill in there too that we did see, or
in this office area?
Yeah. Did they?
No, I think they just call it a night. They just
Oh.
get some. I mean, plus I don't think they have any food because that sucked. They lost all their supplies.
Oh yeah, that's right. They lost all their survivors.
Yeah. So now they're back to square one, which is kind of sucks because that was a good moment. Bill giving him all the supplies, and now, I mean, who's to say they might retrieve the truck if they become friends with Kathleen or take them out? But right now, it's assumed to be that they lost everything that they gained last episode. This again just shows you the cruelness of this world, man. It's almost like a video game. You get all this new equipment, and then you end up losing it at a certain level. So, but go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say. I think that was a final great connection moment with the joke. That I think it was almost like Elle finally got what she wanted out of Joel, and it was the best. It was the best one, and I think what a way that it ended before the brothers showed up.
Right. No, it is a great. I mean, listen, it's always the poop jokes that get us, right?
Yeah.
Elle, your thoughts again on Ellie's funny moment and kind of cracking the joke there and getting to Joel, but then also again, someone that hasn't played the game. Are you in the mindset that we should be fearful of these two individuals? I mean, they are pointing a gun at our favorite character, so naturally you're like, these aren't good guys, but some might think differently. So I'm curious on your thoughts on this ending, and are you thinking that Mr. Sam, who's in front of the camera now, and also is Henry, are they someone we should trust? Curious your thoughts.
They didn't give me like a sinister feeling because I saw his little superhero mask painted on his face.
Right. In the pictures they found in the attic.
And that he's a good guy, that he wants to save the day and help people and
good point.
All those things. So I don't think that he's a menace at all, or that the older brother is. I think the older brother is probably going to be more like serious and keep arm's length, but I think the little boy is holding on to his little youth and his innocence and all those things. But I don't think he is a bad guy at all, but or they are bad guys at all. But I am interested to see how they get along with Ellie, because now she'll have other young people.
Good point. Yeah.
Almost 60, I think, right?
And hanging out around these old people.
Yeah, so he's like her grandpa, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's gonna have other youth to connect with, and I think that's gonna be good to see, because Ellie is a little girl. She's a little girl, and even though she's growing up in this crazy environment, her telling those jokes is like, even though the world is on the brink of destruction, children will children. They're gonna tell you a poop joke. They're gonna keep talking to you when it's inappropriate and ask you weird questions at weird times, and so that was good to see. And I hope they keep that character trait about her, because I think that's going to help to bring Joel along too. Because it shows like humanity, you know what I mean? Because again, Joel is dead on the inside. That's going to help bring him back to life, and so hopefully the other two kids will do that as well. But I think it's gonna be Joel and Ellie. So I don't know. Hopefully they get dropped off somewhere and not, dead. But I don't know. Hopefully they'll make it out. But I don't.
We'll find out. And very observant point you made, Elle. Again, I'm as a gamer, I know who these people are and their intentions. But to your point, it's a very astute thing to point out the pictures, because if it was pictures of little heads being decapitated and blood all over, and then you're like, oh, who are these Henry and I don't know if we want them to be on our characters. But also to your point, you don't wake up to someone pointing a gun at you. You just don't wake up. If they were really bad, they would have just killed them in your sleep. So there is an extension of them that you would imagine they seem to be at least level-headed, logical people. Hey, there's people here. There's a young girl here. There must be something, I guess it's the humanity in me. If I saw someone with a kid with them, I would just naturally think that they're probably not bad people. But again, you never know. The little kid can be a little scammer, and it can be a part of a little thing to get people in. But I'm very
kids, like if they tell kids, like if you get separated from your parents, find a mom with kids, because when you have children with you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a nurturer and somebody who wants to protect you.
Because why else would you, especially in this world, why else would you carry a kid with you? Because they could probably be,
exactly right,
detriment to your survival.
right. And then you had to think about it. They were up 30 something floors in a huge building.
Exactly.
So I was wondering, like, how on all the floors of all the buildings in that dark place did they run up on them? Like, were they going on every floor? Or were they already there on that floor?
Right.
I was just wondering how they found them, because that's a needle in a haystack for real. You know,
destiny. There's always that too. Fate. They probably change. Oh yeah, part 2. Yeah, part 2 is going to be a doozy.
Part 1. What does that mean? They have
there's a second game, titled Last of Us Part 2. And as Kenny was alluding to, it's a bigger game than Part 1. And they've even they haven't confirmed, but they have confirmed, I guess, last week that they will be, at least it's been greenlit for a season 2 that has been issued by HBO. But as far as the writers and creators, they're saying that when they do adapt season Part 2, it will probably be split up into 2 seasons because it's that big of a story. So that is something to look forward to. So, I'll just say that. I haven't played Part 2, but I'm very aware of a lot of the events that take place. And some of them controversial is like not even the word. I'll just say that. Some of the stuff that happens in Part 2. Yeah.
Controversial?
Ooh, I don't. When did the game come out? I know it was during the pandemic. It was 2020 or 2021.
I believe so. It came out. Let's see. The Last of Us came out in 2013.
2013. Yep.
And then the other one came out like 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. And again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds. And plus, I haven't played the game, so I can't really speak on it. But
I haven't played the game either.
But are you aware of the controversial, Jay?
And
you don't have to obviously don't say it, but if you know what if controversial, you'll know what I'm talking about. Are you aware of?
Not really.
Okay, we'll just leave it.
I played Left Behind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was on the. They put that in The Last of Us of the first one.
Yeah, like an extension.
I don't know if that might be the controversial that you're talking about.
Yeah, I won't even bring it up, and no one in the chat bring it up either. To keep it, obviously we're years away from it, but either way.
But
we're years away from Part 2, probably 3 years. But
now I'm curious.
No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. I'll just. I guess it does open up that curiosity. Don't Google it. I mean, you could if you want, but anyway. JL, any final thoughts in this episode? Again, I gave my rating early on. I'm still sticking by, even though we talked through some things and L brought up some good points, Jay brought some good points, you all in the chat brought some good points. I'm still pretty solid on my 7. Again, I feel like the beats with L and Joel growing their relationship really worked for me. The production of the show continues to be flawless. The sound design, the transition from one scene to the next is beautiful. My biggest detriment, my biggest issue with this episode, as L can attest to this, was just this introduction, this new group being this kind of big bad hunters, confusion on brother being alive. What does Henry have? Again, there is excitement to figure that out for the weeks ahead, but first impressions will go a long way. And the first impression that I got from Caitlin, Perry, and this whole group, they don't seem that menacing to me, and they don't seem too frightening. But we'll find out next week, I guess. But I'm at a 7 out of 10. L, final thoughts and your score on this episode.
I'm pretty solid with a 7 out of 10. I thought, I'm heavily invested in this show. And I know that with shows like this, and from what I've heard about the game, is that it's a lot to cover. Like, it's a lot of stuff that there needs to, you have to have an understanding about before you can jump into it. Yeah. And you can't assume that everybody's played the game, because we haven't. So you have to give us some foundation, and this is what we're doing now. So I get that. And I know that, this is going to be a heavy hitter for HBO. And usually when it's something like this, they're not going to miss.
Prime time.
Yeah, they're not going to miss. Sunday night on HBO has been solid for decades. So I'm not worried about it at all. And I know that, it's got the foundation is there. So I'm not concerned about it at all. But I am looking forward to something blowing up, somebody dying, somebody getting, shot in the leg, and we got to hobble around. Like, I want like some of that stuff to happen. And I know that, you know, from the peak of next week that we're gonna get that. So you know, I'm excited to see it, and I'm heavily invested in it, and I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do and how far they're gonna take me. I have to temper my comparisons to The Walking Dead because when I saw this new group, I remember thinking, man, when Negan and them pulled up, I was like, oh hell no. Like I just remember thinking that like he hadn't done anything, he ain't hit nobody, didn't do anything like crazy, but I knew they weren't to be messed with. Those group of people, I feel like me and my daddy and my uncle, we could probably take them out. I don't know. That's just like
they didn't play them in a game of checkers, and you'll be able to
like,
you know, overtake them.
Yeah, like if y'all got guns and we got guns, everybody got guns. I'm feeling pretty confident.
You come out alive.
So that threw me off, but hopefully they'll give me something that I can use to be like, okay, we got something with this little group. So I'm ready for next Sunday. I'm excited about it.
I hear you. Well said, L. And again, too, and we'll have our obviously where people can find you. But I assume you'll be covering this on your channel as well, getting more into the weeds of it. Yes. So we'll definitely have her plug her channel when we wrap up. So, Jay, man, toss it into you, my friend. Final score. Any final thoughts and any hopeful things you would like to see come next week for episode 5?
Okay, my final score was 8 out of 10. I want to rewatch it like I did the other last 3 episodes. It gives me time to marinate on it and think about it. May change my score. I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode. I'm hoping that we get a little bit more on what Kathleen's about, of course.
Yeah,
but I'm looking more forward to the brothers.
Yeah,
because we've
Mr. Sam and Henry.
But it's looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a good story because of the Sam and Henry, and it's going to give someone a connection for Ellie to have with the little brother.
Yes,
them too. Because I mean, if you played the game, people, it's what happened. So, I think that's all I could say. It's
man.
I'm out. I'm tapped out. It's I'm just looking for a great show. Hopefully it will pick up and get a higher scores on this one versus what we got here.
Yeah, and again, a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and 7 from L2, you know, compared to the other 3 episodes, which were to me almost flawless, you know, those are still 7, 8s are still great, right? For any TV at this budget, because it can go south really easily. So I think my 7, and not to speak on you guys' behalf, but I think because we've come from these previous 3 episodes, like I said, it was almost flawless in a lot of different ways. But this episode to me just took a little back seat. But I'm hoping as what I saw inside the episode, the director of tonight's episode is the director of next week's episode. So he's doing 4 and 5. So like Elle said earlier, I think when we look back on this episode, you're going to probably say, oh, it all makes sense now. This is like a part 1 of a part 2 type of an episode that probably you get the payoff in the next episode. So that's what I'm hoping. And like Elle said and Jay said, we're in good hands so far. So I'm expecting us to get some answers and get some good things going next week. So with that being said, Jay, man, thank you for coming on. It's always great seeing you, man. You know, we got the next week, this show, we got the Grammys tonight. We got the Super Bowl next week. And I'm pretty sure the All-Star game is going to be happening during the show, but this show still continues to climb up the charts. So I wouldn't be surprised if this tonight's ratings beat out last week. But Jay, man, what do you got going this week, man? Anything you're looking forward to in the coming weeks as far as movies and shows, and where can people find you?
Right now, just working as my goal is to, let's see, hopefully, if the weather's warm, I might get out my smoker and possibly cook something and I'll videotape it, but I can't guarantee it, but that's about it. Nothing else. Maybe watch some basketball, the Lakers. See if they can
man. LA, La La Land. I thought they were gonna get Kyrie, but he's out in Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyrie Irving is now a Dallas Maverick. Him and Luka. It's gonna be a crazy backcourt for any basketball fans out there.
That's about it. You can find my channel on Instagram, jmanley84.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the man brought up some food. He's a cooker, man. He can get down. Let me tell y'all. So definitely check him out to get your stomachs rumbling. That man can get down on the food on the grill there. So shout out to Jay. Good seeing you, man. And hopefully you can.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It is so good to see you. Like I said, we haven't spoken, at least on camera, since our House of the Dragon discussion. So, like you said, we got another show to dive into, and HBO never seems to miss. But again, if you want to let the people know where they can find you, and what do you have lined up this week on your wonderful YouTube channels?
So, I'm gonna film my my content for this episode for this week's episode. I'm gonna try to have it up on tomorrow. I also watched The Reading on BET Plus, starring Monique. And so I was thinking about doing a recap on that, but I can't tell if I'm a goofball, which is why I laughed through the entire show. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny or not. I don't know. I just laughed for most of the movie. I don't know if I was supposed to do that or not. So I gotta see what I gotta see. Anyway, so you can find me on YouTube, and I have an Instagram. I don't post to Instagram that often. For some reason, Instagram's not my jam. I'm active on TikTok. Watch with me LB on YouTube as well as TikTok. And I'm going to try to post more and more content and shorts and lives. I'm trying to do it. I have a new space behind me. I have a permanent space. I'm a adult now. I don't have to break my stuff down like a kid. So check me out. Recaps on movies and TV shows, and color commentary on TikTok.
Yes. I haven't seen the movie you're referring to, Monique. I saw a clip from it, and to your point of laughing, I couldn't help but to laugh. I saw Monique running at them. They were going upstairs. She was running like a linebacker. It just looked funny. It just looked funny.
I don't know if it was intended to be funny, but I'm telling you, I laughed for a good solid 3 minutes when she was running fast like that. I
saw the clip. I'm like, okay, this is like Get Out, Precious moments going. Okay, all right.
Yes, but she did her thing though. I can't.
That's what I heard. I heard she brought it. I brought her
game,
which is always good to see Monique on the big screen or the small screen. So there you have it, guys. That's where you can find Jay. That's where you can find Elle. Again, once this video is fully uploaded on YouTube, you can find the links in the description of this very video. And as far as over here on MovieFiles, we'll be doing what are we doing? You season 4 part 1. I've already started my little journey of watching. I was fortunate enough to see a couple episodes, so I'm going to be reviewing that later this week, which I'm excited. You know, any you fans, is like L's one of them, so I'm excited for that. And I think, and then Servant, cover that every week, and we'll, we, like L said, doing a little short content for any news that comes out or any tier list or rankings, and then in the following week, Kang Gang, baby. Kang Gang, Ant-Man, Kang, Lang. It's over for Scott. That's all I got to say. So excited to be talking about that next weck with Ant-Man Quantumanium, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. Hope Beyonce had a great performance. Hope whoever your favorite artist is won their Grammy for best album.
I don't even know any of the people.
I didn't even know the Grammys were tonight. That's how out of touch I am.
I've been listening to the same song since about 2013. So
you and me both. You and me both, Al. So shout out to any of the winners.
It's in the heart, right?
Yeah. So shout out to the winners, and shout out to Jay, shout out to L, shout out to all y'all watching. Again, before you peace out, thumbs up, share, shout out to the replay gang, and we will catch you guys on next week's live watch party and discussion. Again, you all be safe, and catch you on the flip side.
All right.